everything. I was like, oh, God damn it. And we're still anal about everything.
So no one told you Commander was gonna be this way. Your deck's a joke, you're broke. Your last spell was DOA. It's like your deck's always stuck in second gear. When I won't let you cast your spell and tap, draw, or even drink beer. But I'll be playing blue when you try to cast a spell. I'll be playing blue like the last deal you tried to sell. I'll be playing blue because no one else can play two.
I got it. Larry.
I can just see
know.
him going, oh my god, what is this?
I have no idea.
How about this? Is Friends ring a bell
I
to
should
you?
have done a t-t-t-t at the first line.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's-
I'll be there for you.
Yes.
Yeah, who's it by?
The Spooners.
It starts with an R.
Rim job.
Rim.
We're not doing those yet.
Rembrandts.
Rembrandt.
The Rembrandt.
So one hit wonder.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have,
But
Yeah.
making a lot of money off of the Friends
Still,
opener.
for sure.
If you guys didn't know, that was Adam number 2 doing
Hello.
the song.
Hey, number 2.
That was awesome. It took me a second. I was like, what is it? And then you got into it, and I was like, all right, it's
Yeah.
Friends. I got
totally
it. Yeah,
got
Larry's looking at me. He's like, I have no idea.
Just I'm scratching his head like, should I know this? This is something I should know. I thought I'd just play into the stereotype since you talked about me and counter spells.
Yeah, that was.
I'd play into it.
The
a
funny
little
thing
bit.
is again, when Larry sings it, I'm not listening to the words at all. I'm listening, trying to figure out what song you are. So when I go back to listen to edit, I'm like, oh, that fucker, he did. I caught it. I heard you say plain blue, and I was like, little bastard. You love blue. Welcome, CommanderSmiths.
We are the CommanderSmiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
They are.
Yeah, we are.
So this is a special episode. We got our second guest, number 2.
Hey,
it fits number 2.
Boom.
Like it was planned or
Yeah,
something.
so,
no, it's not.
Most of the show is not planned.
It's a super special episode because we're going to do a full full set review.
Yeah, we're doing a set review of Throne of Eldraine.
It's episode 83, by the way. BT dubs, right? 83. Because we did
Yes.
84 already. That's later.
Yeah, that's next week.
Yeah. Whereas-
Time travel's hard.
Yeah.
Wibbly wobbly. Timey wimey.
I'm going to get a lot of your... So Lowry and number 2 are sharing a mic. And when we were doing testing, number 2 fit in perfectly because Lowry and I are talking back and forth and he just threw in like penis. And like, so when we were listening back to make sure our sound was right, I was like, did you just say penis? It's like, he's already fitting in perfect.
Yeah. That's A-N-L.
Oh, sorry. Those are for later in the
A&L
episode.
questions.
Yeah, if we get to that.
Yeah. So basically today we're going to get to know number 2 a little bit here, and then we're just going to break down Throne of Eldraine.
Yeah.
Which is Spanish for the drain.
The drainy.
Did you bring a beer to share?
I did. Did you bring a beer to share?
None of your business. If I
Did
brought
I bring
it,
a
so
beer?
what?
No, I didn't.
It's
Well,
in my
I bet you number 2 is going to like my beer better than your beer. I
Ouch.
either have
It's just
a sour
a little crush.
Is that a cucumber
or
sour?
I was actually so have you tried this? I want you each to
No.
try this before no. So I got Natty's Ice. The
Natty Light.
Well, but Natty's Ice, you could get that like $5 for a 12-pack.
Oh my god.
It's what I got in college.
This is like I'm breaking out in a rash right now with it in the room.
But
Keep it in the
Oh
cooler.
my god, flop sweat.
Yeah, it's gross.
they made it's a lemonade one, strawberry lemonade, and it's surprisingly like pretty good.
It smells good.
I mean, it's more of like your Mike's Hard Lemonade kind of. Are you writing down the beer so you can keep track of it, Lowry? So you don't have to ask me later. But I had to bring this because I was surprised because Natty's Ice is a really gross beer and cheap beer.
It smells like ugh.
Taste it.
It smells better than it tastes. I'll give it that.
It has like a little lemonade taste. It kind of reminds me of it's not as good as
Actually, it's not nearly as bad as I
yeah.
anticipated.
Isn't that crazy? Because
No, it
Natty's
doesn't
Ice
mean that you
is
should spend money on this.
no, but it wasn't like super expensive. But Natty's Ice is like a $5 for a 12-pack when I was in college.
This tastes like you just finished off your Kool-Aid and then you put more water in it and then swirled it
then
around and
just a little
started
vodka
drinking
on
that.
it or something. Yeah.
I don't even taste any alcohol there.
Let's see, what is it? What's the percentage
bad.
on that bad boy?
This is
There's a little bitter there.
nothing that they should be selling.
I mean, dude, they have flamingos on it.
Yeah, that makes it a high class drink.
It is.
Instead of
Where is the
umbrellas in your
percent
drink,
alcohol
they
on
put
this?
flamingos on the can.
All right, I'm gonna spend the entire time
Does it
trying to
have
find.
alcohol?
Yeah, maybe it isn't alcohol, guys. It's just. It says beer.
Did you ever watch Beavis and Butthead growing up?
Hell yeah, I did.
Did you ever
Shut
see
up,
the
Beavis.
episode where they got drunk on non-alcoholic beer?
Oh, so funny story with that. In high school, we had my parents had a hot tub, and so when my parents were out of town, we had parties or whatever. But in the early days, we had the junior girls. I was a senior, so we called them the junior girls. The class below us, they came over and they were drinking daiquiris, and they were just like all of a sudden just getting wasted, acting like idiots. We're like, hey Adam, can you go make us another one? So I go in there. And it's the mixer. There's no alcohol in it. So they were all freaking just thinking they were getting drunk. And
they could have been like really dehydrated.
Yeah, it was like,
Mixers and hot
should we
dogs.
tell them that there's no booze in
No,
this?
you
No,
should not,
we
no.
didn't. And we just let them. Oh my god, I'm so wasted.
They start going in the car. Now you're fine. I know you're fine.
But yeah, so I don't know. So it's better than it looks. You guys want some more?
Nope.
Yeah, no. Okay, so we're on Twitter.
We're not tagging this beer.
I don't know if you've noticed this. Sometimes we talk too long about bad cards, and we clearly just talked about like too long about bad beer.
Hey, I still have another one we got to open here in a little bit.
Yeah, I see that as well. That one might be better.
That one's actually pretty decent.
But yeah, we're on Twitter. We do not sharing with Adam or Adams because number 2 here gets offended by it.
Then Adam and I, number 2, do not sharing with Lowry, so that's also a thing.
And then we get like ratioed.
And I appreciate it when other listeners.
I don't. I saw that earlier
yeah.
tonight. I was like,
Not
hey,
sharing with
I
Adam more.
appreciate. I like that you redid your bathroom, but thumbs down on the not sharing with Adam. That's not cool. Who was that did it? Was that
Louisiana Leo?
Was it Leo?
I don't know.
Oh, so you keep saying people. You're like, yeah, I think it was this person, and then wasn't it Derek Warner
very
last
wrong
week?
about Derek Warner
Yeah, it
last
wasn't
week.
even.
Whoops.
That's all right. I'll give credit sometime.
Did you stop subscribing to your Patreon after that?
No,
Yeah.
but I can only remember about 10 people total at this point.
Where you just mix them all and say is one.
Yeah.
We've actually had to cut videos like that last the giveaway. The only cut in there is because Lowry just said, "Oh yeah, that's this person," and it was not that person at all. So I had to go. We had to stop mid opening pack. Like I started taking cards out, and I had to like put them back in the pack and pretend like I didn't do it. Damn you, Lowry. Okay, so. What about
you do Proxy
Proxy
of
of
the
the
Week
Week?
on Twitter? We have,
I had Yarok last week, so
yeah.
yeah, that was last week's Yarok. I think that was it for hashtags, right?
We've been doing better about
Because Adam number 2
communicating with people.
has yelled at us about not hashtagging things, and we're trying to do it.
Also, yeah, should we start like a hashtag hate mashed potatoes?
Oh god, I got so many different texts. I got from my brother. I got like freaking tons.
Be more like potato love or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And then number 2
they're
started
actually
texting.
good.
He's like, "You're an idiot for not liking mashed potatoes, but you agreed with me with broccoli.
Broccoli's disgusting. Oh man,
Burn
So
it,
gross.
burn it all."
You guys.
No, do you like cauliflower?
It's all right.
See that?
It can
I feel
be
like they're like
prepared correctly.
similar. You know?
I mean, they have the same shape.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, the green brain,
If you're fitting
white
them into like a shape box, they both are the same.
yes, but they have very different tastes.
They're both disgusting.
Broccoli ruins everything.
Everything. No, yeah. If it looks very similar, it tastes the same.
Exactly.
All of those beans, black beans, pinto beans, navy beans,
They all taste the same.
No,
they totally do. Oh, we're getting into this now.
This is why 694 and 494 are really confusing for you.
People aren't going to
What
get
the
that
hell's
joke
94?
unless they. Well, because my point was that it's just a circle. You can get on that road and just keep going in a circle. And I'm like, they're the same road. And Larry's like, no, there's 694 is north and 494 is south. You have
I'm
to.
just glad that you listened to me that one time.
I was like, they're the
'Cause that was
same
accurate.
road. You just get on it and you're just going around the cities. So if you guys really want to get what we're talking about, pull up Google Maps right now and you can see the Twin Cities.
I'm pretty sure nobody cares though.
Yeah.
No, 494 is the worst road in history.
Same as 694.
But north side of the city's not quite as bad.
Yeah, I agree. That is a true statement. I'm glad you guys wanted to
What
hear
else
all
do we
that.
do?
What else do we do?
Emails?
Yeah.
Do emails too.
We have YouTube.
We got
You get YouTube. That's where you meet
probably
force
follow us on
things.
YouTube.
Hashtag meet force.
Yeah.
Yeah, our tags, we go for like nearly 10, 15 minutes.
I know, because I take my kid, like, if you drop it, I can listen to it on Monday. And I take my kid into daycare in the morning. It takes about 15 minutes to get there, and you guys are just finishing the intro. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll get to listen to a little bit of magic on my way home.
What's funny too about that is like you go to Command Zone and they have their tags in the beginning, and I always like skip forward because theirs is only like 3 minutes, but ours is literally like a quarter of the podcast.
And we pretty much say nothing. They're like selling stuff, and I'm like, I am sick of you. And somehow I listen to me for that like much longer.
Well, it's like, I can't do that in the car. I mean, that's a little illegal here in Minnesota now.
Also, I forget that I'm listening to us, and I try and change the radio.
That's something you shouldn't admit on this podcast.
It's my
These guys.
phone. I'm just like, I'm bored of Lowry, and then I'm like trying to change the radio, and I'm like, turn it off. It doesn't work. Trust me. I don't have any of that hookup. Some people have like the hookups with the car.
iHeartRadio.
Yeah, I don't have that.
But I
And we're
normally
not
listen.
on that either.
No, I wish.
We also have Patreon. This is muddled.
We did get a new patron this week.
We did.
We played with him actually, Paul Goodwin.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul.
And it's actually number 2's buddy when we had the
Pre-con
beatdown. There we go. That was the first time I think I met Paul. Or I've seen him one other time, I think.
He's been over here a few times. And
So thanks, Paul, for
Becoming a patron.
yeah.
We
Thanks,
hope you
Paul.
enjoy the show. Huh?
He said thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
yeah, I was helping
That
you.
was appropriate.
And then the last thing is you guys can go to Gmail, and that's where you can shoot us song suggestions. Like Adam has done, number 2 has done multiple songs that we've sang. Anal questions, you can go there. Give us-
ANL.
I prefer Twitter
I
would
know
be
you prefer
if you
anal,
don't have
but-
no. Good catch, Larry. Good catch. I prefer
Do an email with a picture of blood. Like, do you like this one?
always. I will put yes. I prefer it to be on Twitter if you can, because you can get the hashtag ANL questions.
Yeah.
But if you don't have Twitter or whatever, you can shoot us an email with your questions. We're not gonna. We'll maybe do one today. We'll see. If
we have
time permits.
But I mean, it depends. I didn't put my catheter in, so I can't like sit around here forever.
Just get the litter boxes are over there. Go ahead.
All right, that's it for our opener. That's our opener. Where are we at? 12 minutes. There we go. Now, I thought I was spilling a beer.
Almost.
You want to open up another beer? You can open up a man's man
I'm going
beer.
to share with number 2.
Hey.
That means you're
It could
sharing
be-
with Adam.
it could be with
Number 2
you
is
as
not
well.
an Adam. He's just number 2.
So this one is from Able Brewing Company, and this is kind of a compliment. It is called, where is it? One of Us.
Aww.
Just for this episode.
You're a son of a bitch.
Stepson.
Actually, everybody, do you want one on your own? We don't have to share it.
Oh, you are sharing. So we're one of you?
I think it's more of like a exactly Minnesota joke.
It tastes pretty good. I like it better than. Well, it has a weird aftertaste.
Yeah, that's solid. Okay, so Able Brewing, One of Us. Decent, pretty light as well. I would have expected more flavor, but so it's a hazy IPA, and I believe Abel's a Minnesota company as well. Could be lying.
We're gonna you guys are gonna spend all episode
Looking at cans. I never found out the percentage on.
radio.
Normally,
content.
I read. Well, he cuts it up to make it sound good.
Actually, I don't do as
Adam's
much
a
cutting
genius.
anymore. I try to leave as much on there as I can.
Yeah,
I used to cut out like ums and as and whatever. Well, no one does as, but but now it just. But I used to. That's the funny thing. When we first started out with the podcast, it was just like anal about everything. I was like, oh, god damn it. And we're still anal about everything. Everything's
face too
anal.
loud.
I'm used to it. I don't make faces
This
anymore.
is stupid. Let's get into your questions here. Let's get to know number 2 here. Get to know your
Get to know you.
get to know your meat force. I don't know. I was trying to come up with a thing, but
Yeah.
it didn't.
No,
I didn't go over it with
it's
you.
fine.
But you see the questions there, Larry. Go back and
Did
forth. Basically, the first question to you is, when did you start Magic?
That I started probably mid '90s.
So you started pretty much with the release of it?
More
or-
like Ice Age, probably.
Okay, that's pretty
Um,
early on right there.
Yeah, early-ish, but I lived in a town of 600 people.
Okay.
And I had to go over.
Where are you from?
Elizabeth, Illinois.
Where
It's
exactly?
near Galena. It's the northwest corner of
I've heard
Illinois.
of Galena.
How about Dubuque, Iowa?
Yep.
That's why
I would
I've
have
heard
to
of
drive to Dubuque to go to the comic store.
How far was that?
20-ish minutes.
Oh, that's not that bad.
No, it wasn't
So you're
that
right
bad.
on the border.
Yeah, pretty much. So we'd go there to buy things and saw Magic cards. Oh, let's try this. And played it with a few friends and didn't know much about it. And so that's mid-90s. And then it's high school that I played it more. I had a couple friends, but it's kitchen table stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I built a deck of nothing but, the Prodigal Sorcerers.
Oh yeah,
The ping.
the ping.
D1.
We called them binkies.
Binky.
That's where the
Timmy.
name.
Timmy is the name. It was nothing but those guys, and there's like fairies that do that, and then a red-blue guy that does that. And not knowing anything about Magic, always thought you had to tap them during combat phase to use that ability.
You were playing Portal Speed.
Oh, we were so bad at this. And so I had a buddy who beat my deck by getting Blinding Angel.
Which one's Blinding Angel?
If it deals combat damage to your opponent skips his combat step.
Oh, nice.
I love that card.
I
2/4 flyer.
can't do this anymore. Oh my god! And so then I started throwing more counter spells in to try to stop.
Oh, that's
it.
where it started.
Yeah.
Son of a
And then our
bitch. Get rid of
manager-
those counter spells.
And then our manager, he taught us to play a little bit more real Magic because he was older than we were and had more cards. And then I dropped out in college, or not.
That's kind of the same. Colleges,
I-
we both
I
stopped playing
stopped
for
in
a while.
high school, probably.
Yeah.
High school through college. I had multiple friends in college that played Magic, but we didn't know that we played Magic with each other until
Didn't
after
tell you.
college.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I'm at the card store. Oh, it's somebody's birthday? Magic cards. Oh, what? You play? So that,
Yeah, I had the same thing. I stopped playing in college, and then like a year ago, I posted something about Magic, and one of my good friends from college is like, wait a second. I played Magic too. Here's a picture of my wall art, which is like framed foils. and
Oh,
things.
nice.
Why didn't we ever talk about this?
it's
So
their
when
jam.
did you pick it back up again?
So I picked it up a little again in like 2009. I was teaching a buddy at work how to play when we work late evenings, and then he moved away. And then I didn't pick it up again until about 2013, 14. Theros block.
Okay.
Like just at the end of that. And my buddy Cully got me into it. He's the one that introduced me to Commander. I'm like, I love this.
So you got introduced right to Commander, or you did?
Yeah, like random story
Lucky.
here is moved into an apartment. There's a fire drill. We're outside, talking to our neighbors. I was like, yeah, we like to play games, and he's like, I like to play Magic. I used to play Magic. He's like, oh, come on over, we'll play. And like the second night I'm over there, here, let's try this Commander format. Oh, this sounds it. Oh my gosh, I love this. I am never playing anything else.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it was Theros you said about?
Yeah, Theros block.
So what is Theros? That's
That's the, like, gods.
No,
We're
when
back
was
to
it?
that.
Is I'm trying to figure out.
Elspeth and
That's like what, 5 years ago? 6? No, it's longer than that, isn't
like
it?
6 years.
Yeah, 6. 6 sounds right.
So then,
Memories. That's the first set. So, like, when I kind of got back into it, like, I middled in Lorwyn and
Yeah.
Shards of Lara, and then Zendikar. I was like, I'm all in. I'm
Yeah.
all in, baby. And then Theros came. I was like, I'm kind of back out again. So you got in when I was kind of backing out.
And I got in, and then there's a GP here in Minneapolis, and it's modern, and I'd missed all that modern stuff, all like the good stuff, so I had no idea what it is. And I go there, I made this Hydra deck, and
Yeah, that was bad. I'm sure.
oh, it was awful. It was awful. Like, here's my Elvish Mystic and my Llanowar Elves or whatever, and I'm trying to get to these big Hydras. Turn 3 Splinter Twin. Oh, okay.
game over.
What? I don't understand. How do you go
So
and
much
fint it?
faster. Yeah.
I do not understand this game. Things have changed. What are planeswalkers?
So then, what is your favorite form? Is Commander your favorite format?
Commander
I mean,
is
you don't
my
have to say that because
No,
you're on the
it's-
Commander
yeah,
No,
Smiths.
Kamigawa block constructed, no legendaries.
That's it.
No, it's no, absolutely
You'd be
Commander.
playing like 3 cards.
Right, I know that's the joke.
Yeah.
Not JPEG.
That'd be bad. Oh, I didn't. I need to get into more memes. That's
No,
You're getting better at your GIFs.
trying.
I dig it.
no, Commander's
Just
my
trying to
favorite.
have people confuse me with you.
Yeah, I know, because I noticed you don't put a CSL under those. You just let it
Trying to
fly.
I'm the one that actually introduced the local Monticello area MTG group to Commander.
Oh, really?
I
I think you did
went-
mention it
I was
before.
meeting Bill for D&D. He's like, oh, come over here and play Magic with... Like, he let slip that he's going to play Magic. I'm like, I play Magic too.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, come over. We're playing like 5 of us, and we're playing Standard. and I was playing what was basically Frontier, which never caught on.
Yeah.
And so I kind of
I
trounced.
expect a little bit on that.
Yeah, I made one just because I had the cards. I'm like, I have it. I don't have to spend anything on it. And then I had my big toolbox of Commander decks. I'm like, hey, you guys want to try this? And they all played my decks, and they're like, we're in.
Yeah.
And they have just gone into it now, too.
See, I think Commander gets people, unless you're more of the... You want the games to be over in 3 minutes, 5 minutes. You know, that... I think that's what draws a lot of the kitchen table players, and that's what we've done our whole lives. It's not until recently that we... No, we still only do the pre-releases, is what I'm talking about. But it's not until recently that we've even talked about potentially going to a Magic Fest or whatever. We never did that. It was
like
just,
Besh was asking, hey, you going to be at Magic Fest? Like, I haven't really thought about that.
we've never done that before.
I live like 3 miles away from the convention center. It's like, I'd have to take the light rail in.
Oh, my God, so much work. When he's coming up from Iowa, right?
Yeah, he's driving. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's interesting because like I think that's what draws a lot of. I think there's a lot more players than we know of because I think there's a lot more players like us. I mean, you go to more or Magic Fest stuff. You've done a couple.
I've done
of
those, yeah.
like you mentioned already. But recently didn't you do?
Yeah, there was another modern Magic Fest here this past summer, and I went and played in the main event, and then I did some side events. Just what did I do? Did I do a draft or something? I did a couple of little side events.
And since we're talking about Magic Fest, like I'm really interested in like the Command Zone thing that they started in Vegas and they're doing in Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago, Seattle, and DC.
DC, yeah, that sounds right. That piques my interest. That might actually get me in the door.
Yeah, for sure.
If they continually do it.
Well, it got good. Like the people that did Vegas,
was amazing from the looks of it. But did you look at the pricing for?
Like 200?
Yeah,
250?
and that's a little, and you only get like 3 events, and then it's just access.
Yeah.
It's kind of iffy to me. We'll have to see
especially having to get their hotel room
right,
and stuff like that.
Chicago's it's not far, but it's not close for us.
Yeah, it's 8 hours for me.
Yeah.
A lot of people say 6 because I don't speed.
Yeah, you drive like a grandma.
But I always get there first because I don't go pee.
That's what the catheter's for, right?
Yes, exactly. I got to clean that soon.
Gross. All right. What else do we have here? Oh, how did we get connected?
Oh, so that was really...
That's an interesting...
That is an interesting one. I went to Phoenix Games once, and I don't even know. I started talking to Nate. No, it must have been
the
Mike.
owner or Mike. Yeah, I think you're talking to Mike, my neighbor.
I was talking to Mike, your neighbor, and he asked where I lived, and I was like, I'm in Elk River. And then he's like, oh, I know these guys that do a podcast. Cool, that's fun. And they like playing Commander. Yeah, I do too. Let's do this. And so I texted him one time, like, hey, I'm going to host a bunch of people. Do you want to come and bring your podcast buddies? And then you guys showed up, and that's where we met.
Yeah. And then we played multiple times here. We've actually recorded a video that we didn't ever post, and we just figured that out just recently that I still haven't taken off my damn phone. Because I was like, okay, I'm going to need your internet password to get my computer working. You should have it. Why? When did I have my computer here? Because we freaking recorded a video that you guys never saw.
And you
It's a
will
good
never
video.
see.
I'm sure I won.
Actually, who won? We had 2 games, right?
That was the Sigarda one where you like
Oh,
rained
yeah.
hailfire on me.
That was amazing.
We
That was-
should at some point post that.
It was something like that.
That was it.
That was that
That
one.
it.
That was
it.
that one.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was great. Great time.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So good. You even called it.
Okay, and then what's the last question here? Oh, favorite deck that you like to play?
Oh, God, that one's hard because I rotate them.
I'm guessing it's something with fucking counterspells. That's what it fucking is.
It's probably a Tempsis right now, just because it's so a unique.
Oh, that Sphinx from M20.
Yeah, the
Oh,
the
I
player
haven't got to
loses-
see that one yet.
It's
Not
what-
you play it, you know
right.
what I mean?
It's if that you do combat. No, you just do damage, not even combat damage. Do damage with a Tempsis. If you can reveal 6 different CMCs in your hand, that player loses the game.
Oh, have you been able to get
Yes.
that to go? Really?
Oh, yes. The first time I played it, I got ping, ping, ping. Got each of them right away. And it
That's
was like,
awesome.
It was like turn 4 when I started. Because I managed to ramp so well. Like, ooh, my hand is full. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the first time playing with you when I had my my flip coin, and I was like, "You're dead. You're dead. You're dead." For some reason, my phone only does tails. It kept hitting
All tails.
Oh, it doesn't ever not hit tails.
You took advantage of that.
And now I don't.
Yeah, it's the app that says it's only tails, but it doesn't have that in the name. No, that's
I only
not
run counterspells to protect my stuff, usually.
bullshit.
You don't do it to stop people from doing bonkers stuff?
Depends on what the bonker stuff is. If it's going to kill me, yes.
That's
If it's
appropriate.
just something that's going to be kind of fun and I can deal with later with like a cyclonic, sure, you can do it.
What if it's like a warp world that just takes 10 minutes to resolve and get everything done?
Then I probably concede because it's not worth it. That's where I've like taken out like Thieves' Auction and stuff of some of my decks. Like, oh, this looked like fun, and now I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, just time-consuming cards.
Which cards is that?
What?
I might have said the wrong card.
Thieving Auction?
Yeah. Oh, which one is the one you said too?
Warp World. Warp World is the same thing as the Great Aurora, just in red. But you shuffle all the permanents into your library, and then you
Yeah.
like draw that many cards and put that many permanents.
It
in
starts
play
the
if you
game
can.
over completely.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's just a shit
And-
show.
yeah. Those are fun sometimes.
No.
But not every time. Like, it's fun when it's just like, whoa, this doesn't happen very often, once a year type of thing. Other than
It's
that.
a shit show.
Yeah, it totally is. That's why.
If
That's
it's
why you
a
like Chaos
four-person
Warp.
game,
That's
there's
why you
only
like
one
Chaos
person
Warp.
that knows how to play it. And they're like, hold on, what do I get to do? How many lands did I have? I don't remember.
I already
I
shuffled them
didn't know
back in.
I got to like ask this. Like, it's a shit show of a card.
I want to play it now.
I gotta keep on saying shit show.
Why do you hate counterspells and you like that sort of
No,
crap?
because I don't get to see that often. When it happened with Mike, what was that one, the green one?
The Great Aurora.
Yeah, that one just. It was a fun, but it was the same thing you just said, that people started shuffling in and they're like, "Wait, I didn't know my lands. I didn't count that. I don't remember how
What
many
was I
lands."
supposed to
It's like, oh shit! All right.
It had to have been like step by step.
All right, let's move into our spoilers. I think we got enough of number 2. Do you have any other questions that I'll allow? Do you have?
No, I don't care.
I like mashed potatoes.
But you don't like broccoli.
I do not.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
What is
I'm going over this.
this?
again.
Isn't like a club that we're joining. Right? Like anti-mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Jesus.
There's got to be somebody else out there like me.
Do you like
No.
white bread?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I like wheat
I mean,
bread.
Yeah, they're the same thing. Literally.
No, we're going over this again.
Pour a little water on the white bread, and there you go.
Oh no, that's gross.
Maybe
then.
milk.
then that gets gross. Milk on your bread?
Have you never done that?
No. That's
Look at me.
It's an Illinois thing.
Probably.
I'd probably blame that on Iowa.
You were that good. That got you there. All right, let's get into our spoilers. Or not spoilers. It's our full set review. Our preview card, Lowry.
Yeah. Fucking A.
You have all of the cards to preview.
It's amazing.
Lowry got fooled this week.
There was an email that Arena sends out. It was like, your preview card. And I'm like, oh shit, we got a preview card. And it was not. The wording is inaccurate. I would like Wizards, the guys, I know they all listen to us, but they need to reword that a little bit to just like Arena's preview card, not your possessively preview card.
You weren't the only one I showed.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
pretty funny. You did show somebody else.
It's
tweeted
super
that out.
depressing because you get that super high. You're like, I made it, and then you're like, no,
You didn't.
no, this
You're
isn't.
just, you have an
this isn't
Arena
right
account.
at all. Yeah,
Well, one thing before we jump into this, there's one thing that you posted on Thursday, number 2, with this set, the special edition stuff, the $450 thing.
Oh, that got
we should make
posted.
mention of that as well.
Yeah. Do I need to pull that up again?
I'll post a link so that there's better specifics. I'll do the video because they did like a box opening. Right?
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
So there's 16 packs,
the collector boosters.
collector boosters, unlike the 12 that are now going for $340. This is going to be $450. So you get an additional 4 packs. You get a 3x3 foil random sheet, is what we're kind of guessing. Is a random sheet of
we looked at yours, and it's an 11x11.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a special printing
Yeah.
to get these 3x3s.
I just saw like Saffron Olive go like, I watched the box opening and it did not make me want to spend $450 on it. It's
well,
like,
because then you get a full, like the art of Garuk
You
like
get the art
Master?
print, and
you
then
get a
the
full art, and then you get a print, and then you get a binder, and then you get a bunch of arena shit, and then that's the $450.
You mean stuff that's basically free?
But
for
it's like
them?
special stuff, yeah, for them. Yeah, but it's special stuff on arena if
Like,
you're an
do we
arena
get
player.
cards or just like different
Yes,
arts?
there were probably
Yeah, there was-
questions to look at the actual posting.
Yeah, so I'll post that link because I did not.
But
watch
$450 again. We broke that down last week. I'm not impressed with the. It's
many
not worth
products.
it. It's too expensive for.
that. I'm sure people are going to make money on it,
Oh yeah.
but I just
It's too risky. I want to open
Too
one
rich for my
pack.
blood.
I want to do one pack just to see it, and that's about it. But I don't want to go in on a.
and I'm
This
fine
is-
with. I would like the idea of you getting a pack.
Yeah. We'll watch you
Opening
get
it,
the
we will
pack.
watch
That's
you.
not what you said last week.
Yeah, well, I had a week to think about it.
Like, no, I will regret this decision
Yeah.
later. It's the microtransaction thing where they're going after the people with the money,
Yeah.
the whales.
But this one doesn't seem profitable. You know, like you look at
Of course, it's. You mean for us or them? They're
for
going to
us,
make bank.
Oh, it's
for
not-
us,
it's
for
not
us. With
supposed
the
to be
others, but you
profitable
know,
for us.
Ultimate Masters, you can sell those cards. I mean, we broke that down a year ago, but I mean that you could sell back and make money off of it. This, I have no idea.
They're just
because they're new cards.
They're going to be pushing like that Ultimate Masters and this sort of product. They're going to keep pushing that price up and up until they stop selling it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't expect to keep making money off of things like Ultimate Masters in your case.
What do you mean?
They're going to keep because this is more expensive than the last premium product. They're going to keep upping that price until they hit that point where like people don't want to buy it, and then they know what the market can handle.
I feel like this is it. This is the thing that it might do. Because is there anything in here that you would think that it would make you want to jump in and buy it?
Don't look at me.
They're
No,
like,
it-
Well,
my-
you bought Modern Horizons.
So
you
my
bought
problem with where they're going, I guess this is not a planned discussion.
no.
But like,
When is our show ever planned?
it's going to be
just-
a 3-hour episode once we get through all these.
yeah, I mean, you sit down and you like, they don't even. I think you're right, number 2 there, but at the same time, like when a product flops, like Masters or Icon and 25, like they didn't learn the lesson. They just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, we're doing Ultimate Masters. We're just going to do the awesome stuff. And they sold a ton. They're like, why did that sell? Like, I feel like they don't understand why those things work. Because Masters 25 and Iconic Masters were just bad.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like they're trying to figure out what is proper value. It's kind of like the Brawl decks trying to get 45
Oh
out
my
of
gosh,
that.
the Brawl
instead of-
decks.
Like if you just went 35, I think you'd sell a lot better, and you could make a lot more money that way. But it's almost like they're dooming it to fail.
I don't think they're not doing that one to fail because it's a high price little print run that's already sold out. If you go to Card Kingdom or TCG, it's sold out. They can claim this as a success.
But they could have made more.
But it's not, is it?
Is it?
'Cause
Why
they,
isn't it? They sold out.
they made money.
It's profit for them. It's not profit for us. But
Yeah,
we're not.
But it's that same thing with like the Mythic Edition. It's like you could make 12,000 units of that, but if you just did it to a like pre-order demand, you would make so much more money. So if you allowed like that pre-order demand of just going, maybe not direct sellers, but being able to go to a store and being like, I want to buy this. They charge your card and you're getting it because you can get it guaranteed.
They would have
Like,
made so
I
much
think you just
money
make
with
so much
that
more.
in 3 if they would have done
I
it
don't
that
know
way.
if they do because then it's not the scarcity. The cards
But
don't
you don't
have
you
value.
don't
But they
you
don't-
don't know the unit number either way. Now you know it's 12,000, which does make it more scarce and more wantable. But if you make it obtainable, 5 years from now, it's expensive as well for people. So I don't know.
And they're not having to send out foil sheets multiple times to everybody because
And
they screw shit up.
toothbrushes.
And toothbrushes.
Did you get your
update? No, I did not get a
God
full sheet,
damn it.
But I did contact them, and they said that my order was fucked up again, and they
What?
did not send it yet. And so I'm like
Now you're
in one of
getting
the last batches.
a Casper mattress.
So they're saying,
If I got a Casper mattress, I would forgive them fully.
so they said they're gonna send it to you now. So it's
I
good.
don't know. They just said that it'll come out whenever, and they'll get me one of those tracking numbers when they do send it. Thank you, wizards.
You really got fucked with that.
Just send me the vibrating part of the Quip toothbrush.
Whoa.
And we'll call it vibrating. Yeah.
Right.
No, I was
Here you go, Kirsten.
She doesn't need that.
Oh, nice, Lowry.
Yeah, my dick vibrates.
It's all that coffee.
That's all
You
it
drink
does.
enough of it. All right, enough of
That's
dick
all it does.
vibrations.
Both the ocean and the ocean.
Tickles.
She said they're laughing.
All right, let's actually get into our spoilers. Harmonious.
Harmonious. Archon.
Words are hard.
They'll call it
I'm already
Archon.
2 beers in. No, I'm just
Archon.
kidding.
Not.
4 and 2 white, 4/5 flying. Non-Archon creatures have base power 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, create 2/1/1. Really, they're three threes, but they're 2/1/1 white human creature tokens. This seems interesting
4/5.
for 6.
Yeah, that's nice.
For Commander, this is pretty sweet.
Is it?
Not, I mean, you're not playing.
You
other
can play
people
it-
aren't playing Archons, and they're gonna have bigger things than 3/3s.
They don't lose their abilities, though.
That-
Yeah, that's the only downfall with it.
And
But
it's- and
you could
it's-
be putting this in a token
Yeah,
deck,
absolutely.
weenie token deck, and really make your tokens a lot
But
bigger.
it's not very good against a token deck either.
Right.
No.
Because you're adding a ton more. So, like, it feels like it's kind of weird in that regard. Like, there's weird tension. Like, if it's good for you, it's good for them. And if it's bad for you...
I think the only deck I would put this in is a token deck. I'm playing the token deck. I'm not going to be focused on what they're playing. It might help, it might not. Worst case scenario, you're turning their 1/1s into 3/3s, but I would be more trying to ramp my 1/1s up to 3/3s. I don't know if I'd actually play with this, but that's the deck I would put it in.
if
I
it
was
took
gonna
away
play it.
abilities, I'd be much happier.
Oh, yeah. If it was like
'cause you
the,
start neutering commanders and whatnot. Like,
We each made a noise. And then and then we realized one of us was talking. All right, move on. We already talked about him, right, Kenrith?
yeah, we talked about the buy a box promo. Kenrith, check it out.
I can't even see this one.
Realm Cloaked Giant. 5 white creature giant. Adventurer, cast off, sorcery, 3 white, destroy all non-giant creatures. Oh, and the Realm Cloaked Giant has vigilance in this 7/7. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's a good
I
board
like
wipe with a creature.
And that fits in, was that Kelmney?
Which one?
The giant, the
yeah.
Boros giant.
3/3 double
the-
strike
Yeah.
vigilance.
that-
Cares about big giant ass creatures.
It's funny. It's a mythic.
Yeah.
That's funny with both these cards. It's like these are really mythic. Like,
I think Adventure is going to be really
Yeah.
interesting with the built-in card advantage, like we were talking about earlier.
So I think I'd play this. If I have board wipes at all, this is going in. Because you then have a body you can play later.
do we want to mention anything about the adventure stuff? We tried to break it down a little bit.
No, let's just go.
Go to
Adventure-
ask a judge.
Yeah, ask a judge about adventure cards. There's come like
One thing we
weird
know is that they
ruling.
aren't. It isn't doing like split cards where it's combined with the CMC.
Converted mana
The
cost.
CMC is always the creature aspect of this.
Yeah.
Other than on the stack when you cast the adventure.
That's the one thing we know.
And then after that, like interactions seem to be confusing, like Snapcaster Mage or whatever. Like that doesn't seem to work. So definitely go pester your judge, local judge, and have fun with them. Brazen Borrower, which is going to be an adventure card, but it's a colorless blue for a 3/1 flyer flash, and it can only block creatures with flying. And then the adventure
you want
part
one of those?
is Petty Theft, which is colorless and a blue instant. Return target non-land permanent and opponent controls to its owner's hand. And this is a mythic.
That's good.
How do you guys feel about this one?
It does a lot for cheap.
Yeah.
It's efficient. The flash on the creature is really nice. Because adventure, you cast Petty Theft, which is not theft at all when you're giving it back to the controller. Poorly named.
Yeah, poorly named.
So you return target non-land permanent. You then exile this, and you have a flash creature waiting to be cast, which is a 3/1 flying. Can only block.
Can only block. Yeah.
Still, that trades up pretty well.
Yeah.
With Commander, it's hard with this one.
Well, just paying 5 at flash speed at end of turn to return.
At
a
least you're
non-land
bouncing
permanent
something, yeah.
And get a 3/1 flyer. Like weird.
Oh,
I was.
no.
So he said no. I have the it's the 10 Barrel Brewing Company Crush. It's cucumber sour. So Larry got me into the sours.
That was enjoyable reaction.
Oh
there.
no. But yeah, it's interesting. It's like a light sour. The raspberry one is a lot better than this one, but it's.
No, I like this way better.
You like that better than
Yeah,
raspberry?
it's good.
I think I would try the raspberry one over this.
It's almost like watermelon-y.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that.
That's funny. I thought you would actually really like the sour. I was like, I'll get the cucumber. He'll like that one. Oh, no. I don't know.
I think doing it in a turn, I think being able to do this in like your Rico deck, being able to almost continually do it. So you cast the instant, and then you cast the fairy for 3, attack with it, bring it back with a ninja, and then redo it. Like
really
that
nice.
feels really good.
That's
So like anything
$18 good?
No, I mean just wait until it goes down.
I don't know. This could be used a
It
lot.
could be.
'cause
In standard,
it's-
and there's sure.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a standard, maybe modern, but there's a lot. I mean, you can pump flyers a lot of ways to get that 3/1 body bigger.
And
And
you're not blocking with it.
No, you're punching face.
Yeah.
Which I guess blue doesn't like that a whole lot.
So it's an interesting card.
Next one is the Magic Mirror, which is 6 and 3 blue. It costs 1 less for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard. You have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a knowledge counter on the Magic Mirror, then draw a card for each knowledge counter on this.
And I'm pretty sure number 2 has a chubby for this one.
Yeah, dude, stop looking. I like everything about that card.
Yeah, this one's pretty sweet because you can use it with take advantage with proliferate and all that. Add more counters on it. With you being a spell slinger deck,
Spell slinging and drawing
you're going to be
cards.
playing this for 3 pretty much.
You don't think this is going to be too slow though?
No.
Just like one counter.
For Commander? Think of it when you get it in the game. If you get it in the oh, you mean slow, putting the counters on.
Yeah.
If I play this for 3 and get 1 card draw off it, I'm pretty happy that somebody then spent a card to kill it. Because you're not going to kill that for much less than 3.
At what point do you think it's too much to spend on getting this out?
Yeah, I think that's the interesting question with these.
Because I don't.
Where because 9. Too
9,
much.
yeah, that's too much. It's not going to be worth it.
And 3 is pretty solid. I would agree with you on that. I would pay 5. Easy.
5 or 6.
5 or 6, I think, might be the
The
right.
good cards. I mean,
It's
but
going to
it's going to take a little bit to ramp
going
up.
in my hand at that turn. If like I have a couple more instances of sorceries that I can do on your guys' turn, and then drop this for cheaper next turn.
Now, would you play this in a deck that doesn't use proliferate and just go off of what it does?
Absolutely.
Because I think I might try to focus if I was going to put it in a deck. It's going to go on one that has a proliferated mechanic already in it. You know.
But you also want to be like heavy in the sorceries and instants too to take advantage of that because, again, 9's too much.
Well, because you do have what's the enchantment that every time you cast a spell proliferate, so that would work perfect with this because then you're casting spells.
Tide.
Yeah.
You also
that's
have the uncommon from War of the Spark. That's whenever you cast an instant or sorcery. Also proliferate. It's a creature.
Taking notes.
Blue 2 colorless. I want to say it's like a 2/3 or a 3/2 or something.
So then you're getting both benefits from this and both parts of it.
Yeah, because it works together.
So
I think that could work.
I would start building it, not looking at proliferate, and then find proliferate cards and probably throw in a few.
Yeah.
Not focus
Not make
on.
it. Yeah. Make it like a sub theme.
Like Tezzera's Gambit is double with that. It's draw 2 cards and you proliferate 1 and. That seems like, putting a sorcery in the graveyard. Mm-hmm. That all works together probably.
There's now a cat in your podcast.
I was gonna say we're gonna have a cat. If you hear a meow, it's the pizza eating cat.
No, it's not the pizza.
It isn't.
cat.
Isn't the black one?
Hi, don't kill me.
So with the
Hi,
last time we were playing.
Claws are so close to my dick.
What?
So scared.
The pre-con beatdown stuff.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of pizzas, and his cat, number 2's cat, got up on the counter, reached in the pizza box and grabbed a piece of pizza and pulled it out. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, his name is Morbo, and he's living up to his name.
That's freaking crazy. I can't believe he was. I saw him doing. I was like, is he really going in that pizza? He is. Holy shit.
Yeah, I should have been paying because he was stocking those boxes. Like he was sitting on the stools the whole night, like eyeing up those boxes.
My question is, if he got the piece, how would he eat the whole piece? Or does he just nibble on it, lick it a little bit?
He will eat all the cheese and meats off of it, and he'll probably lick some of it clean and then just leave a little bit of crust, because he's done it before. We found pizza.
He knows what he's doing.
He goes into the garbage can and pulls out food.
That cat thinks it's a dog.
He
It's crazy.
is a half dog, but he is the most cuddliest cat in the world.
And smells like pizza.
And it smells like pizza, so you can't be mad.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just hungry all the time. All right, you're on the next one, Adam.
Cauldron of Eternity. 10 black. This legendary artifact costs 2 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard. Whenever a creature you can control dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library. There's a lot of text on this card.
Yeah, there is.
2 and a black, tap, pay 2 life. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate this only as a sorcery.
Do you know what I instantly thought of for this one? Grenzo.
Yep.
Dungeon Warden.
Yep.
Whenever you have
Bottom
a creature
of the
die, bottom of the deck, put it back on top.
It's going in there.
Sure. Do you even have that deck?
Yes, I do.
Alright.
Because it's a unique deck, so
It
I
is.
kept that one. I didn't destroy that deck.
So, again, 12 is a lot for this card.
But this is 2 less versus
Yeah,
1
for each
less.
creature. And
So if you
Grenzo
have
is
5,
all creatures in
yeah.
your graveyard, pretty much.
So the abilities kind of play off against each other.
For sure.
But you can still get a ton of value if you time this right.
So it's, yeah, I mean, like, endgame, this is really good. And just being able to get value.
God, yeah, that card is so good in Grenzo. I didn't even... I'm just reading. I'm like, oh, I don't even need to use
'Cause it doubles
Grenzo's
up.
ability.
Yeah. But, like, the weird thing here is, like, every creature that you bring back from your graveyard, if it dies, it goes
goes under.
You can't bring it back again because it's going to the
Right.
bottom
Right,
library. That's basically what you're saying.
Right, yeah.
Like, it's just, it's weird.
But it's
And-
only when it dies, so you can still do the discarding, which Grenzo is
Sure.
all about, is
You can discard it.
putting
Okay.
cards into my graveyard from doing...
Yeah. And so, like,
abilities.
Buried Alive or Entomb works with this, but just, like, a Wrath doesn't help you.
Yeah.
You just lose all of your creatures, and they go all on the bottom.
But even
But
that
they-
effect isn't bad.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're going back into your
deck.
deck, so you still
yeah,
have
but
them.
if you're like a graveyard deck
Right.
that this kind of wants
Right.
to be, that is kind
But
of
in Grenzo, it's perfect. Goes at the bottom of your deck, and then you just play it again.
Hey, do you like this card in Grenzo?
I do. I really want to play this card.
This is what happens with epiphanies.
When he's so busy with doing things, and
Yeah.
he finally gets to read the cards.
Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't actually read that one. I read it, but it didn't really trigger until you said Grenzo. Thanks, Lowry.
Yep.
Trigger warning.
I'm here for you. Embercleave, which is 4 colorless red.
I didn't even
I did
catch what
not
you were
mean to
singing
do
there.
that, Yeah, that was, it was the friend song.
Oh,
Back
gotcha.
earlier in the episode, like an hour and a half ago.
That's the importance.
You just sang it in a different tone, and so it just sounded like you were like serenading me.
Yes.
I'll be there for you. Like it just wasn't the. You sang
You
it
weren't
better.
listening. All right. Evercleave, 4 colorless, red. This is a legendary artifact equipment. It has flash. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature you control. And when Embercleave enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. And then the equipped creature gets +1/+1, has double strike and trample, and it equips for 3?
Yep.
Question mark? All right.
Yeah.
No, it does not equip for a question mark.
Whatever you want.
This seems pretty sweet with your
That's gonna end
Voltron
games.
decks. Yeah, this is gonna be.
That's just going to end games on the spot.
This is going in that my equipment deck, the partner one, the white red girl.
The one that you never remember.
yeah.
The artifact one.
Akiri.
That she gets +1/+0
For each artifact. Yeah.
First strike.
And then with
Vigilance.
Bruce Tarl.
Yeah. So this that's gonna fit perfect in there.
Yes.
I think this fits perfect. Like, think about this in like a Ural deck, and just
Oh.
like flash it onto Ural for 2. That seems good.
Yeah, this
like
is pretty
this seems
sick.
really good on anything hex-proofed. Does this target when it's coming into play? It does.
Attach
Okay.
to target creature.
So you can't get around Shroud, but I think that's fine. I think there's
Yeah, you could
if you
target.
get it, keep it.
You
Yeah.
control. Dang it! But you could flash it in and help do it
Yeah.
to somebody else's creature while they're attacking somebody else.
No,
Target
it's
creature
you.
you control.
Yeah, it's
No.
you and you.
Attach to
Whenever
target
enters
creature you
ba-
control.
Oh, target creature. Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay. Son of a
That
bitch.
that'd be the big thing. Like if you could like
put it on somebody else's creature while they're freaking attacking.
that would be sweet, and then just pay 3, equip it to your thing later on.
You'd make some enemies there.
I know. I get you to curse at me more.
Yeah.
You traitor!
You haven't backstabbed me for a while now. It's been over a year.
Yeah, well, I stopped playing with you.
That usually
We
helps.
just stopped playing.
Yeah.
Of the 3 of these legendary artifacts we've looked at, this is the biggest immediate impact.
Yeah, but the green one we're going to get to. Oh my
said up to now.
God. I know. I'm so excited about that one. All right. Robber of the Rich.
Just like green.
I do love green. 1 and 1 red. It is a 2/2 reach haste. Whenever Robber of the Rich attacks, if defending player has more cards in hand than you, exile the top card of their library during any turn you attacked with a rogue. It's just a rogue.
There's a lot of words in a lot of these
You may
cards.
cast this card, and you may spend mana as though or any color to cast that spell. Okay.
Off topic a little bit. I'm pretty sure Mythic in this set means it has 20 or more words in its rule text. That's what makes it
you should
Mythic.
do the study on that. Because, hello. There's a
Kitty on a table.
Kitty.
I honestly didn't listen to you when you were reading that.
So you attack. If they have more cards than you, you exile the top 2 cards of their library.
Yeah,
You can cast it anytime you attack with a rogue.
And he is a rogue.
he is a rogue.
So during any turn you attacked with a rogue, so you can do
You
it
can cast that.
on your second main phase after you attacked with him with those 2 cards. But it's a cast, so if it's a land, you're not getting that.
Yep.
It's kind of weird that it's like a weird sub creature, like subtype.
And why does it have reach?
Because he's an archer. It's Robin Hood.
I guess, but it doesn't fit with
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
gonna.
It doesn't fit with the rest of it.
It fits
but
with
it's
what
pure
it is.
flavor of
Yeah.
the card. That's why it has reach.
Is this a card that you're interested in playing in Commander?
No.
I am.
In a rogue deck, maybe.
Yeah. In a
But-
red stealing your cards deck, an
I
aggressive
can
deck.
see that.
A very aggressive deck. I would play this.
But you got to get it through. I mean, not through, but you know what I'm saying. It's
No.
got to survive.
It's when he attacks, you get the cards.
Yeah.
And then you just have to attack.
But
to
he's
spend
a
them.
2/2.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill it so quick.
Sure. I got 2 of your cards.
It doesn't have anything evasive, like it's not.
It's got haste.
I guess.
So you could exile that card and play it that same turn.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
So that's
what they're
that's
getting
not
at
good
is like
enough.
if it's a sorcery or something, you have to play in your main phase or your second.
So you're just stealing removal. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Right?
anything.
Exile like any wrath, so you don't have to like get wrath because you're going to be.
Well,
more
you could
aggressive
play
on the board.
anything, like
It's
whatever's
coming
on the top.
Coming off their library.
Oh, it's coming off the
Yeah.
top.
If they have
to have more cards.
in hand,
So that's the hard thing
There-
is
there-
like
there's so
you
much
have to
work here.
specifically attack a person that has more cards
but
than
it's
you.
red. How hard is that for red?
It depends. What are
I
you
mean, you're
comboing
bad
with
red
red?
decks, yeah, I agree.
If you're going with red, green, or it just depends. You have to be specific of who you're attacking. That they have to make sure they have more than you, and they have to be able to not kill this guy. Because you attack somebody that has more cards than you, but they have a blocker that's going to kill your 2/2. So you're just exiling 2 cards, and then its fun thing is done.
What disappoints me about this is it's Robin Hood, but he's not legendary.
Also true that this guy should have a name, and that's about it.
It's Robber of the Rich. His
Robin
name's
the
Robber.
It should be
Robber. I don't know. I feel like it's too many hoops for
Yeah.
not a big enough. Especially if you're not stealing from hand, like I was thinking, like just
Balls.
random off the top.
We're not even through Mythics, and we're almost at an hour.
You guys have fun. Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's get away from Robin Hood here.
I'll speak quick.
I think this is me.
No,
isn't
this is
it?
him.
It's you, damn it.
Questing Beast, 2 green, legendary creature beast. Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. Whenever he deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to a target planeswalker that player controls.
You're right about the words, Larry. More words. It's a
Word salad.
This has a lot going on for 4.
Yes.
It's insane for 4.
It's very efficient. But there's the can't be blocked thing is really cool when you combine it with deals damage to a planeswalker too. But then the rest of it just seems unnecessary.
Well, okay, so why would you put prevented in there? Like maybe no reason, but maybe there is damage prevention theme coming up in the future where like this becomes a really important card.
So I think
for
that's
standard.
why it's here is because they brought back protection. So one thing protection does is it prevents damage.
Yeah.
And now if you block if a creature with protection from green blocks this guy, he still takes 4 damage.
Mm-hmm. So that's one big thing. And they got rid of protection in standard because they felt like it was too confusing.
And now
they're bringing it back, and then there's like making it like halfway okay. Like taking half away the ability of like all that damage is still dealt though from protection, even though you can't like block it or whatever. But yeah, that should be fun. It's
gonna be used like crazy in standard.
In standard, I think there's a huge card. I don't know.
Yes. Oh, you lucky bastard! I love this card so much.
Yeah, my favorite card from the set. Probably.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, the Great Henge.
Whatever. This card is
so
bonkers.
Yeah.
This goes in so many decks.
7 colorless, 2 green, legendary artifact. This spell costs
X less.
X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. It taps to add 2 green mana, and you gain 2 life. And whenever a non-token creature you control enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and draw a card.
Fucking
You're doing
crazy.
Everything with
this
this,
is
right?
Crazy.
Everything.
I can't wait to make my eggs deck. I know I put it on Twitter, but just with the eggs deck, what's the commander again?
Atali.
Yeah. Atali?
No, that's the Dread Dragon.
Ataya.
Yeah, it's A something.
Yeah, starts with an A, but whatever, from
The
commander set. So that's the deck I'm building. But anyways, you sacrifice one of your eggs, kill them somehow, and one of the ideas that you had said is, what's the enchantment? Tap 1 green, sacrifice creature, reveal the top cards until you get a... Or is it search for a green creature?
No, it's reveal cards until you get a creature.
So
I don't remember.
You get that bonus from getting a creature from that, then Atali with its ability, and then every time a creature that's not a token coming in, you get to draw a card and put a counter on it. This card's crazy just in that, but there's so many other decks that this is going to go in. Any deck that as long as you're not playing tokens,
right?
It just is insane.
But even go back to the experiment of where is this good at? This is good almost everywhere. Because you're almost never paying 9 for it. In a stretch, I'd pay 8 for this. Not ideally, but 6 is totally reasonable.
Oh, yeah. And even if you're paying like 8, 9, you're still ramping.
Yeah, you're getting
and
2
gaining life.
and
You
life.
just tap. Oh, gain 2 life. Okay, sure.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. It can give you mana and gain life, or just fucking give you life. Like, you could have nothing on board, cast nothing, and still gain life, and it's always a bonus.
So of the 4 we've seen so far,
I don't like this one. It's boring.
You like the blue one that
like
just
the
draws
blue
you
one.
cards.
I do. That one's fun.
How's that not boring?
I like hoops.
I know what you're getting for Christmas.
So you're a
Hoops
fan
are
of Fruit Loops the cereal?
They are delicious.
You like the hoops. This card's fucking crazy. I can see this going in so many.
Yeah, this is in my mind an auto state.
What is it at for price? I haven't even got to that.
Cast this for
9.
$9.
It's only 12.
Drop a Llanowar Elf with it.
Yeah.
Just draw a card.
Put a 1/1 counter on it, gain 2 life, draw a card. How good is that?
So stupid. Green is so stupid anymore. What can't green do? It even has a counter spell.
See?
Yeah.
Are you coming over to the dark
I
side?
hate green. They're taking everything from everybody else.
It's because it's the best color. It's the best. Oh, I guess that's one thing we should have asked you. What's your favorite color you want to play in Magic?
Is it
Blue.
and red?
Well, no, like monocolor.
A monocolor? Would probably be blue, yeah.
Is it? All right. Is it?
Is it?
Is it?
That was stupid.
You're
All right.
It's a good joke.
Penis.
Nice
Did
and
hear
subtle. We weren't talking.
We're basically talking in each other's faces.
You just yelled. You just whispered penis
into
to
my
Lowry.
nose.
No, just right into his ear.
Yeah.
Talk about later.
Okay, all of these we've talked about. We did not talk about that guy.
Yeah, correct.
That's me. All right. So Outlaws Merriment. It is 1 red and 2 white. Enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose 1 at random. Oh, I didn't catch the random part.
Yeah, it's random.
I thought it was you got to choose 1. All
Yeah,
right.
it's red. That's how they make that chaos thing. Like, oh, you want something that you would want and be relevant to
Instead,
the game. So
roll the
randomly
dice.
you might get that.
Yeah,
So create a red and white creature token with these characteristics. So each of them are going to have haste, I believe. Yep. One is going to be a 3/1 human warrior with trample and haste. One's going to be a 2/1 human cleric with lifelink and haste. Or a 1/2 human rogue with haste, and when this creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target. This is kind of a lot of like mana intensive of what colors for what it's doing. I like that you're generating a token each turn. I think I would like it better if you put a counter on it and you got to make that many, but the fact that you're only making one.
Assemble the Legion.
Or assembles, yeah.
People were comparing this to Assemble the Legion just because they're like red white. This is nowhere near that. Good
no, because you're only doing one of these each time for 4. It's not terrible.
None of them are great.
But none of them are like amazing. It'd be cool if one of them at random was so much more superior, because then that'd make one of them really shitty, like something that was bad for you.
5 of them.
And so
one of them is like made merry and makes you the monarch or something.
That they need to add that in there. Why didn't?
Well, that'd be kind of strange in a standard set, but it'd be
fair.
interesting. That I like that route. Like one is just like
amazing.
You make a 5/5 angel. The other is a 1/1.
An 0/1 germ.
Defender. No, that would be great. An 0/0 germ.
Just dies instantly. You get an ETB from a creature entering.
ETB.
Except you don't get it from that enchantment because it was a token, so you wouldn't get to draw a card and put a counter on it.
And then something in the middle. I don't know. So like this is
you get a food token. Okay. That's something.
Well, that piss you off. Too, I don't know.
That'd be below your creature 0/0 entering.
Have you seen the food like actual tokens in the set? Is it only the golden like egg?
That's the only one I've seen so far.
Because it'd be great if there was a mashed potato meal,
gross.
Broccoli on the side. Corn on the cob.
People are gonna like when you get famous enough, they're gonna send you cards to sign, and it's the food, the mashed potato food token.
You want to give the scenario that you gave me earlier this week of the a power 9?
If there was a power 9 at the bottom of a bowl of mashed potatoes, would you eat the bowl of mashed potatoes?
I said, "Fuck yeah! I'm not an idiot. I'll eat it." And then you added that later. You're like. Unsleeved, by the way.
And then you're like, well, what is the math on this now?
It's like, it's still got to be a couple $1,000. So I was taking the Black Lotus is what I was going for.
So that's the mythics right there.
Oh, yeah, okay, we're done with those.
We're going to move on to the rares.
You got to do these kind of quick now.
No, we don't. I put my catheter in. I hope everybody else did. We're fine.
Who are we on with this?
I think me.
Yeah.
Acclaimed contender, 2 and a white. Human Knight. When this guy enters the battlefield, if you control another knight, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a knight, aura, equipment, or legendary artifact from among them and put it in your hand and put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order 3/3.
I'm surprised this isn't mythic. Because there's a lot of words.
I didn't realize you had to control another knight for this to be able to do that ability.
So it fits in with the Knight Commander from the Brawl deck.
But
it might just be from that too, because I think those are mixed in.
Oh yeah, so
there's a bunch of knight related cards,
but it might actually be mixed in here. If it is, it might be from the Brawl deck. But these are new cards. Legal. Yeah.
We talked about Charming Prince.
I don't think we did. I don't think we did.
Okay, colorless and a white. It is a 2/2, and when Charming Prince enters the battlefield, choose either Scrying 2. Or you gain 3 life, or exile another target creature you own, return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step.
I like this card.
It's good.
I like having the options. We talked about that last week with the options on this one. The Scry 2 ability is good. Gaining 3 life is meh. At least it's not food.
It's the same thing.
But you don't have to go and tap 2 to sacrifice it to get you a fucking 3 life.
But you had to pay 2. It's a 2/2 food.
It's a 2/2 food.
Yeah, that's all it is.
That's what mashed potatoes would be. If you let them.
It's solid utility. Probably really nice to have at the bottom of a curve in a deck. I don't have any problem with either of that.
Giant Killer. It is. We have an adventure with this one. The adventure is 2 and a white instant, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. And then for Giant Killer itself, it's 1 white for a 1/2, tap 2, which is a colorless and a white, tap target creature. Yeah, it's pretty boring for Commander.
For Commander, I don't think that does enough.
Oh, Larry gets to read that one.
Thank God, there's so many lips in that one.
I know.
They don't lie.
We're not on that one. We're on this one right now.
Is that me again?
Yeah. You get all the words.
Oh boy.
I'm glad you know how to read.
Happily Ever After, 2 and a white, enchantment. When this card enters the battlefield, each player gains 5 life and draws a card. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 5 colors among permanents you control, there are 6 or more card types among permanents you control and or cards in your graveyard, and your life total is greater than or equal to the starting life total, you win the game.
That's a lot.
I like hoops. That's a few too many.
For win the game con enchantment, it's only a
That's
3
3
drop.
mana.
That's
3 drop.
pretty crazy because those are normally like 5-6 mana to get out.
Coalition Victory, which is banned, it was what, 5, and then
It's
some
like
colors.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
One
got
of each and 3.
the life one too, where if you have over
There are 5 colors
50.
among
50
permanents
life.
you
Yeah.
control.
that one's 5. So the funny thing is we're going to get to this later. I saw Saffron Olive tweet out the green one where you get to choose multiples of whatever
Oh.
multiple times.
Yeah.
It makes a 2/2 citizen that's all creature or all colors, as many colors as you want. So it says that card with this card wins you the game because then you can also gain 4 life. We'll get to it
So
in a little
you need
bit.
5 colors.
No,
and
it's not in this set.
You need
Yeah, it is.
6.
Oh, it is in it. Oh, it's from
the
a,
Spark.
oh, was that from War of
Yeah,
the Spark?
it's an awful card from War.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like
that's right.
7 or 8 mana.
That's right. That's why it was from. So it was gain 4 life, create a 2/2
Citizen.
that can be any color.
Oh, I don't know which card you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can choose any one of them
Multiple-
3 times. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 4 times is the most.
4
Yeah.
out of 4. It's a bad card. I don't know why we're talking about it.
Because Saffron
this is a
Olive
bad
tweeted
card.
about it. I
We're
thought it
talking
was
about
interesting.
Group hug, win the game cards.
Here, I'm going to help you guys out so I get to win the game. Like, I mean, sure, you could do that. Go, this is bad, right?
No,
But
not
you can't
Commander.
play
You wouldn't
this
be able to do
anyway.
that. You wouldn't be able to get that out.
You're
both
going
of
to be in
those.
5 colors to even make it appropriate. But, like,
Unless you're just depending on that card.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was weird.
I'm gonna
Moving
make a
on.
Group hug deck.
Move to your lips.
Hush, bringer.
Oh.
Sorry, I forgot to brush. Colorless white. It's a 1/2 flying lifelink. Creatures entering the battlefield or dying don't cause abilities to trigger.
Oh, this kills a lot of decks.
This
so
is
many.
hate.
Yes.
This is
I hate
kills
it.
my
You
Teysa
hate
deck.
Kills Rune, kills Brago, kills, yeah.
Teysa, what was the one I just made?
you just say Yarok?
Yarok.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
Anything-
afraid to say it again. You'd be like, I just said that.
Kills Panharmonicon.
Yeah, this is a Riku of 2 flames.
So in
Let's
other
just talk
words,
about
this is a good
hating.
card to
Yes.
hate on a lot of decks. And a lot, I mean, the thing is shit does stuff, and a lot of decks are going to have, when it enters the battlefield, the monoramp stuff, go find a land. We
like
play with
Wood
a ton of
Elves.
those, all that
Yeah.
shit. So this is, if you're playing a deck that isn't having much of your ETB stuff, play this.
Yeah,
Every
well,
white deck.
we were talking about this earlier, though. It's just kind of like there are creatures that stop you from having an ETB effect. So like Hushwing Griff or Tocatli Honor Guard or whatever, and like they're not going in any decks.
Because
So,
we
like-
play all ETB stuff.
But what makes you want to play those cards? It's not playing ETB effects in your deck.
I think that's when I would play it.
But like, I don't have many ETB effects in my like Oketra God Eternal deck. I didn't want those in there either. Like, it's taking up a bunch of space that's like maybe one-sided.
But would you play this where it hits both things, the ETB and the death? So you're stopping the Blood Artist type effects, the Zulaports.
This can hit a lot of
Stopping Solemn, Simulacrum.
You turn off a
I forgot
lot
about
more
Blood
things.
Artist. That made, because I was like, you're just stopping Solemn. Like, I'm not terribly worried about that, but stopping Blood Artist triggers is pretty big.
This is that's pretty decent, but that's only if you're. But we're all about ETB stuff, so it's a little harder to.
I think
Yeah.
Commander is in general. So
Because you're getting rid of any simple utility creature card like a Rex Age.
yeah,
Does no longer works.
I think it'd be interesting to see if it's good enough. I think it's interesting enough to warrant some play because the death trigger for sure.
Yeah. It might be just when you hold onto your hand until the appropriate time. You just play it in the deck.
All right,
Don't
next
look at
card.
me.
Mace of the Valiant. Is that it?
Yeah, this is in the night deck.
So it's in the
Brawl
Brawl.
deck.
Whatever. It's
Yeah, we can
two
talk about
two
it.
and a white. It's an equipment. It gets equipped creature gets 1+1 for each charge counter on this, and also has vigilance. It gets a counter whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, and you can equip it for 3.
Meh.
It's for a Voltron deck. Holy shit! 1650.
Yeah, all the rares in the Brawl deck.
Oh yeah, duh. Yeah. All right, moving on to the next one.
Silver Wing Squadron, 5 and a white, human knight, flying vigilance. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control. Whenever it attacks, create a number of 2/2 white knight creature tokens with vigilance equal to the number of opponents you have.
So we just picked the cards out that has the most reading, and then number 2 reads them.
Yep, you're welcome.
That's the random fall. Yeah, it probably costs too much
Yeah,
Oh,
six.
for
yeah,
Night
6,
Tribal.
yeah.
Like, it might go into Night Tribal because there just isn't that many
Right.
bigger options, but...
I mean, anything can go into a tribal deck.
Yeah.
This one would be perfect for Night Tribal.
Worthy Knight, colorless and a white for a 2/2. Whenever you cast a night spell, create a 1/1 white human creature token. Simple, efficient, effective.
Did we
solid.
do this one? We didn't do that one.
Say it.
Emery, Lurker of the Loch?
Loch. Like
Yeah,
Loch Ness.
Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
2 and a blue, legendary creature, Merfolk Wizard. Hey, we can have a commander here. This spell costs 1 less for each artifact you control. When it enters the battlefield, you put the top 4 cards, right?
Yeah,
4
your
cards of your library in your
graveyard.
graveyard. And then you can tap it, choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. I can't read the italics.
You still pay its cost. Timing rules still apply.
Okay,
Yeah.
and it's a 1/2. Interesting.
Is this, like, would you play... Do you guys like Thada Adel, Acquisitor?
Yeah, which one is that?
2/2 Island Walk. When it deals damage to an opponent, you can
No,
search
you
through
do
the
that.
library.
No
Yeah,
one
it's
else
great.
plays that.
And then you get to
You always
cast the
take
artifact.
soul rings.
Isn't that just better than this? Because
You get
it
your
has-
opponent's ones. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like this one you're pulling from your graveyard. It does
I already-
cost less.
I
so-
already
Yeah, it could be
have-
potentially just 1.
and even if it dies, it might still be 1.
Right.
But
I already have more interesting artifact-based decks than this.
yeah, I'm not building with this in my mind.
Or putting that in.
That's what she said.
Fae of Wishes, an adventure card. The creature is a fairy wizard, blue and 1. Flying, blue and 1. Discard 2 cards. Return this to your hand, or to its owner's hand, 1/4. The adventure part, 3 and a blue sorcery. You may choose a non-creature card you own from outside the game, reveal it, and put it into your hand. So it's a wish.
So
which
for,
isn't really relevant.
which I was gonna
Right.
say for Commander, that doesn't really help us as much.
Fairy Formation, 4 colorless and a blue for a fairy. It's a 5/4 flyer. You can pay 3 colorless and a blue, create a 1/1 blue fairy, creature token with flying, draw a card.
You know what I just realized?
Huh.
We didn't get our fucking fairy commander.
No, we didn't.
All that damn
Well, we
specking.
kinda did with the
Son of a
black guy,
bitch.
The green. We didn't get any green. That was the hope for Fairy Willow. Willow Priestess. There we go.
Fairy Noble
Well, that's
is the other one too.
Yeah. That's all right. They'll come back to it.
Wah, wah.
So this one, I think it's
Fake
appropriate
tweets.
cost. I think it's appropriate cost. Like this ability on an uncommon is just to draw a card, and this creates
Yeah.
a creature with flying.
And you
Like
can do it multiple times, which is also
5
nice.
mana for a 5/4 flyer. Like all the stats are pretty solid
Yeah,
on this.
repeatable.
I don't have any problem with it. It's not like bonkers,
Yeah.
but everything is very
It's not interesting, but it's solid.
yeah.
Folio of Fancies, 1 and blue artifact. Players have no maximum hand size, so this hits everybody. You can tap XX, tap it. Each player draws X cards, or you can tap 2 and a blue, tap it. Each opponent puts a number of cards equal to the number of cards in their hand from the top of their library into their graveyard.
Is that enough hoops?
That's a lot of hope. I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, this
You
seems.
It looks fun.
This looks bad.
I don't like that it's. Oh, it's each opponent
Yep.
though, which is nice. So it's not hitting you. So on Necrosar, when you're drawing all those cards and making everybody else draw, you can really fuck some shit up with that. Make everybody draw cards, and if it's not killing them, it might be decking them. All right, Lowry's yawning. We're moving on.
Yeah.
Scroll up. There we go. Gadwick the Wizened. Ooh, this is...
Wizened?
Yeah, sure. Wizards. I don't know. X, blue, blue, blue. Legendary creature, human wizard. When this guy enters, draw X cards. Whenever you cast a blue spell, tap target non-land permanent an opponent controls. 3/3.
This seems up your alley.
I would try this. I don't know. It's not super interesting. The tapping, I could do a tapping.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. But you know that they had to change the rules to make this card work.
What? Oh, really?
Because there's an X effect when it's already on the battlefield and not on the stack. When it enters, draw X cards. But when it's entered, there's no longer an X value.
Why didn't they just make it when you cast this card, draw X amount of
Because
cards
they wanted
and
it to
then-
be countered or whatever. Or doubling effects, like that Hushwing turns off.
So they want more answers to this?
I guess.
That seems bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's worse. I feel like if you don't change the rule, it just is maybe a better card.
Very few people probably knew it was a rule to begin with.
Yeah. But also like Panharmonicon turns this on.
Mm-hmm.
Like any of those doubling effects.
You've talked me
makes it
into
nuts.
building this.
All you had to
So-
say was Panharmonicon.
Yeah.
Just go Panharmonicon, turn 6, draw 6 cards, have a 3/3 that
You're going to give us all chubs now, Lowry.
I'm here for you.
I'm so close.
I am the one that read
no,
the
you
lips
ruined
card.
Yeah, stop dancing.
All right, Lowry.
I guess. All right. Midnight Clock, 2 colorless and a blue for an artifact. You can tap it to add a blue, or you can pay 2 colorless and a blue, put an hour counter on Midnight Clock. At the beginning of each upkeep, put an hour counter on Midnight Clock. When the 12th hour counter is put on Midnight Clock, shuffle your hand and graveyard and your library and draw 7 cards. Exile Midnight Clock.
That's a lot.
This also should have been mythic. Just so many words.
I mean, in a commander game, by your second time around, you're drawing 7 cards.
I guess.
You're drawing,
No.
and you're getting a land
Oh.
off of it. Because it's
Each
every
upkeep.
upkeep you get it.
So
So,
it'd take 3 turns in a 4-player game,
well, it's every upkeep.
but you need to get to 12.
Oh, I was thinking 7.
Yeah,
I don't know
no,
why I
it's
was-
12 hours in a day. Midnight Clock.
I don't know why in my
12
head I was
hours
thinking,
in a day?
12 hours on a clock.
We are approaching
I
12.
You're trying to make me feel dumb, and then you, you just.
I'm the smart one here.
You guys didn't have to read that bullshit salad word thing.
All right, so yeah, 3 turns.
dumb
If
card.
you're not adding any counters, then you're drawing 7 cards, shuffling your deck,
The nice part is you don't have to tap to add counters. You
Yeah.
can just, if you've got
and it
mana.
gives you mana,
Yeah.
so you can actually use that one to tap it.
Exactly.
It's
So
bad, right?
It's pretty bad.
Okay.
in Commander, you could totally use this.
It's kind of fun, but it's
You
kind
could totally
bad.
use this. Proliferate those fucking counters too, and you're doing all
He's
that.
talking himself into
Hey,
a
I know.
proliferate deck.
No,
Proliferate. That goes. The other one was blue. The other one was blue. It's gonna fit perfect in there. Just put it down. Mark it down.
Yeah,
on your
it's
notes.
in my notes.
Oh dang it! I
Oh,
actually
good job.
clicked on it,
Now you're
and
gonna
I gotta scroll down and find it.
right.
Damn it!
Mirror Maid is really good, right?
I feel like it was.
Is that on me?
That's you.
Yeah, Mirror Maid is 1 and 2 blue enchantment. You may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any artifact or enchantment on the battlefield.
Just double your midnight clock, right?
What is this?
Yeah,
What is that right
for
now?
sure.
$3.
No, it doesn't add onto another kind of
amazing
Mirror
for-
Maid at 278 is some great utility in my mind. So because
Check-
copy enchantment's like a $7.
Wait for this to
card.
go down more and get foils on these.
Yeah. So, and I think this is like a full art one.
Did we talk about him? I know
No,
it's
we
in the
didn't.
brawl deck, but he's awesome.
Was it me? I thought. Oh, that was him. But jeez. 4 blue creature dragon flying. As long as you
What's his
control-
name?
Shimmer dragon. As long as you control 4 or more artifacts, he has hexproof. Tap 2 untapped artifacts you control. Draw a card.
Didn't you just say that there was no hexproof in this?
Somebody else said it, but that's not in the set. That's in the brawl decks. That's a brawl
Still
deck.
part of
card.
the set?
Yeah, I agree. That person lied.
$15.
Did you tweet it out?
No, I'm not that aggressive anymore. If I check through the set, which I'm doing currently.
Artifact deck, this is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, this card's really, really good.
I love this dragon.
$15, even if it's in the Brawl deck and it's bumped up because of that, like, hopefully the card goes down, but I don't see it going below like 7 or 8.
No, this is going in artifact decks like crazy.
Yeah.
Sucks that it's in the Brawl decks, though, because then you're not getting a foil copy of this.
I mean, because 6 mana for 5/6 flying is pretty good rate, and then you throw in 2 abilities on top of that.
Because
one's protecting itself if you're
Right.
playing an artifact deck, which is that's a pretty sick card. I'm kind of sad that it's not legendary.
Oh man,
because then you could really base it
on
up.
Sai.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be perfect in that deck.
Stolen by the Fae, which is X blue sorcery. Return target creature with converted mana cost X to its owner's hand. You create X 1/1 blue Fae creature tokens with flying. Way too much, right? To bounce one creature.
Yeah,
Return target creature card. X.
Because it's not or more. You know what I mean? So it has to be exactly that mana
Or
cost.
less.
Or less, yeah. It has to be exactly that mana cost so that, like, you couldn't overpay for a
no,
creature.
it says you have to get X
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I'm
what
saying.
we're
You
saying.
can't go over.
Oh,
to
I
put
see.
it-
I thought you were saying
So
it could
if
be
you-
that
if,
or
if
less.
you made X 12 because you wanted 12 1/1 fairies and there's no X.
Yeah.
12
just bounce a
creature.
random 2/1 because that's all they got. Like, if they only have a 2 converted mana cost,
Yeah, that
It's
isn't
like-
good.
pay 4 mana, bounce 1 really bad creature to input 2/1 flyer. Like, that's just a bad rate.
Yeah.
Vantra's Gargoyle, 1 and 1 blue, 5/4 flying, and that's it. You get it's 2 mana for a 5/4
Yeah,
flying.
seems good.
It can't attack unless defending player has 7 or more cards in their graveyard. It can't block unless you have 4 or more cards in hand, and then you can tap it. Each player puts the top card of their library into the graveyard. I mean, for Commander, I don't know. It's a 2-drop. You get a 5/4. I think this is going to be better for other formats, but I don't know. You're going to be able to activate it pretty easily in Commander.
But milling 1 card is pretty
Milling
meh.
everybody for 1 repeatedly. But that,
Even yourself.
that activates the attacking ability, and it can block early on.
Yeah.
It's a good defender. Flying defender. Mediocre. I'm not talking myself into it. Workshop Elders, 6 and a blue human artificer 4/4. Artifact creatures you control have flying. That's pretty nice. At the beginning of
Yeah,
combat
that is
on your
nice.
turn, you may have target non-creature artifact you control become a 0/0 artifact creature. If you do, put 4 1/1 counters on it. It's expensive though.
Yeah,
7.
7 is a
Never
lot.
mind.
7's a bit much. I think this is also on the Brawl deck, I believe.
$4. For how not great that is, I guess it has to be.
Yeah. Shit.
Alright.
Ayara,
There you go.
first of Lockvein.
Lockwain?
Locked Thwain.
Lockthwain?
Swamp, 2/3. Whenever Ayara
You can read it again?
or
Say this
another
card.
black creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And then you can tap it, sacrifice another black creature, draw a card. Legendary creature? Are you want to go mono black on that?
I mean, that could even fit in like, oh, it takes us more about the graveyard, but any of the entering the battlefield, which is nice. You're hitting each opponent with that, and you're gaining life.
I can for sure see myself putting, like, if I get this, I promise I might put this in Yawgmoth, like Phyrexian Cleric from Modern. Like, I can see that going in there because you're playing a bunch of little creatures and being able to draw a bunch of cards or just draining people with that little aristocrat style. Like, I feel like that could be pretty good. I think it has to be in a mono black deck, though, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it would be a lot better if they didn't have a tap sack outlet with it. Then you'd have another sack outlet, but the fact that you only can do 1 creature to draw that card kind of sucks.
I think that's to stop you from going infinite
going crazy with it.
with one of the altars.
Yeah.
Because, I
you
mean-
sack to make mana to cast more spells.
Yeah.
But who cares? There are already so many different ways. Like, why not
Fair.
just give another version?
Yeah.
Because they're going in standard.
Yeah. All right. Well,
All right, Black Lance Paragon, 1 and 1 black, 3/1 flash. When enters the battlefield, target knight gains death touch and lifelink until end of turn. So kind of a kill spell in a way, because you can give
Knight
it
travel
death touch.
purely.
But we'll keep moving.
Giving that to a first striking knight seems decent.
Yeah, that would be nice. That'd be about it.
So that's like the pinnacle of that card, though.
Yeah.
Chittering Witch, 3 and a black, human warlock 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, create a number of 1/1 black rat creature tokens equal to the number of opponents you have. Black and 1. Sack a creature. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn.
It's totally for the brawl end because it's talking about number of
Yeah,
opponents.
brawl deck.
Yeah.
Eh,
I mean, you're at most getting 3.
yeah.
Do this in a rat deck.
Yeah, that's about... not even...
You don't need to be
It doesn't
rat
need to
because
be
it's
a
just
rat.
sacrifice a creature to do it's.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you trying to make rat noises?
I don't know.
Why don't you read the troll, buddy?
Yeah, stop trolling us.
Clackbridge Troll, 3 colorless, black. It's an 8/8 trample haste.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
When Clackbridge Troll enters the battlefield, target opponent creates 3/01 white goat creature tokens. At the beginning of combat on your turn, any opponent may sacrifice a creature. If a player does, tap Clackbridge Troll, you gain 3 life and you draw a card.
I actually really like this card.
You'd be wrong.
I think it's pretty sweet.
Why? Why is that sweet?
What do you mean? Why isn't it sweet? 5 for an 8/8 trample haste guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving them the ability to tap down your creature.
But then
You gain 3 life and draw a card. For 5, every turn they're either sacrificing a creature, and if they're not, you're drawing. If they are sacrificing a creature, you're gaining 3 life and drawing. That's pretty sweet. You're giving them 0/1s that don't do anything against trample, really. The most they can block is 5 damage with that. And it's haste, you're hitting right away that first turn it comes in.
No, because
Unless
they
they tap-
sacrifice a goat.
And then you draw a card and gain 3 life.
Do you really want to pay 5 to tap 3 or like
Multiple
gain 3 life and draw a
turns?
card?
Hell yeah.
You've been complaining about food tokens.
Wow.
For
That's not drawing. This is drawing a card. That's your thing.
Distinguished.
You should have a boner right now because of it. I actually, when this got spoiled, I really like this card.
Did you think of me?
No.
No, you thought of you. So why would you
Why-
think about me?
I don't. Why do I
would you
need
think
to?
I would like
Why
this
do I
card?
need to look at, think of, or see
You're
cards and
thinking
think of
that
you?
I would like this card.
Lowry.
I don't know why you would think I would
Lowry.
like bad cards. Like I don't get it.
You're just weird. Think about you when I see cards. Do you think about me when you watch your pornos?
Oh, boy. Do I,
I
need to
close
leave
my
the room?
eyes. I just listen. That's all.
Thanks, too.
You play a voicemail from me.
Hashtag don't like mashed potatoes. When I eat mashed potatoes, I think about you and just go, I don't understand how he doesn't like this.
Did you have an American Pie mashed potato incident as a
No, I
child?
did not.
That makes a
They're-
lot of sense.
now we're
They're
there.
just
Now we got
gross.
there.
What do you think number 2 on this card?
Clackbridge Troll, I would play that. I think if I played a black deck more often, creature heavy deck, yes, I would play that.
Is this your least color that you play?
Oh, green. Oh, no, because
Green? You're so anti-green.
I like green in combination with the other colors more. Like Simic is probably.
That's our favorite. Well,
Yeah.
at least my favorite was Simic.
I have a favorite.
I
Like everything.
But like I don't play a lot of I play a lot of black, just not creature heavy usually.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be hard for me to fit in. I agree with you that the haste is the key here. And then you start playing politics on who's going to do what with their goats. Oh boy.
There's laws against that. In many states.
Still. But
I mean, just because they don't enforce it doesn't mean you shouldn't do that.
I mean, you're paying 5 to draw a card on that first
And gain
turn.
3 life.
Yeah, and then they still got to deal with it the next turn.
And the next turn.
no, it's
and the next turn.
there's 3 turns that they can easily deal with it because you're
No,
giving
there's-
them.
But then
3
you're
goats.
drawing. Yeah, but you're drawing a card and gaining 3 life
but if
each
I'm
time.
playing you guys, I say I'm going to attack Adam one turn. He sacks his goat, and then I go to attack Adam. Like, hey, don't sack your goat. Are you going to sack your goat and stop me from hitting Adam for 8?
I mean, that's a good point. If you sit down and you
You do the
don't
politics
attack
with-
the person with
Right.
the goat. Yeah, I mean, they could still sack their little shits.
They could. But you're drawing a card and gaining 3 life.
You keep saying that.
Because it's when it's all said and done, if it's just
And
the
they
goats are
sacrifice a
sacking.
creature. How about you add that in? They're sacrificing a creature.
Right.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gaining 3 life.
So
and drawing a card.
it's all good for you when you play this.
And it's not that you're waiting a turn for it to happen. You have it happen that first turn.
right. If it wasn't for the haste, I would.
It'd
think
be
this
a
is
little
an
bit
absolute
slower.
garbage
I'd be
card.
like, it's going to get killed immediately, but you're going to play it and then.
All right. Well, I guess at this point, I'd be willing to try it out. I'd check it out. I don't know where I'd put this, though, either.
$1.94 too. I kind of like this as
That's
a foil.
No, this is
Yeah.
bulk. This is straight bulk.
That's my thing. Is I don't know. Where
I wouldn't pay
put this.
$2 for this.
No, I was saying foil. I try to shoot for get these really low foils.
Yeah. I don't think you'd make any money on that. I think this is straight bulk. I think it's a fun card, but it's bulk.
All right, so I think I'm up. Murderous Rider, I believe, right? Yep. 1 and 2 black. Zombie Knight 2/3. It has an adventure. 1 and 2 black. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. You lose 2 life. Or you cast the creature for the casting cost I said, which I should have
You
keep reading
hopefully
the creature.
remember.
1 and 2 black, and you get a 2/3 lifelink. When it dies, put it at the bottom of its owner's library.
I love this.
Yeah. This is a good card.
Yeah, for
Hero-
sure.
Heroes
and it's an
Downfall's not so
instant
good.
too.
Yeah. Hero's Downfall
Yeah,
with a body that you then gain the life you lost.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go away.
And it's the same amount of mana. There isn't like a huge disparity like some of them.
yeah.
that card
If it was a
seems
sorcery,
straight
I would have
gas.
been a little more like,
Right.
but the
I
fact that
could
it's
see
instant.
them doing a sorcery.
But yeah,
spell
that's what I
against
thought it
them,
was
too.
at first, and so I wasn't so gung ho about jumping on board with you guys. All right.
Yeah. Oathsworn.
Yeah.
Oathsworn Knight, 1 black human knight. He enters the battlefield with 4 1/1 counters, attacks each combat if able. If damage would be dealt to him while it has a 1/1 counter on it, prevent that damage and remove a 1/1 counter from it.
Meh. Yeah, that's a meh. Hang on a
Yeah,
second.
I mean, there are.
Oh, you can keep talking.
Yeah,
sorry.
they're like. Is it? Shit. It's from like Judgment, which is very similar, like Nantucket.
Yeah, Nantucket Husk or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's not break
The
this
Phantom.
one. Let's not break
They're the
this one down.
Phantoms.
This sucks.
It doesn't suck.
I don't
I think it's a really good blocker,
for 3 turns.
and you could
4
persist it
Persist it.
or not
So-
persist it.
He's
Proliferate.
No,
It's
no.
like, what is
Yeah,
the persist gonna do?
Which one of you guys just said he's a good blocker? He's
You
not, because he attacks each combat if able.
He's
First
a
turn.
Pretty bad blocker.
You need to.
I don't.
RTC
Let's stop
now.
talking about this card and let's go to the next one because this is garbage.
I'm alright with that. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Piper of the Swarm, colorless and a black for a 1/3. Rats you control have menace.
This should have been our Rat Lord right here.
Yeah.
Rat Commander.
Rats.
But it can't be because it's not legendary.
I know.
But it's colorless black. Tap it, create a 1/1 black rat creature token. Or tap 2 black, tap it, sacrifice 3 rat, gain control of target creature.
That's awesome. Like, this should have been legendary and you would have had a Rat Commander.
Yeah. Piper.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. I play this in my steal your stuff deck.
It
What
feels
color is that?
slow,
Blue-black.
though.
Oh, perfect.
It feels slow.
It's very slow.
And you're just not reasonably going to be able to steal stuff unless you're rat heavy.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, if it has to be a commander, really, to be able to take advantage of that rat stuff, you know, because otherwise you got to luckily get this in the 99, and then, I don't know. There's just, it doesn't feel good in commander.
Yeah, it's just so slow.
Unless you have a rat commander deck. What would be the commander for a rat tribal?
It's called, I want to say it's Marrow, Marrow. It's from Saviors of Kamigawa.
Of course it is.
And you tap it, sacrifice a rat, and then you get to like put that many 1/1 rats into play for its power. So that, and it's like a 4/4, maybe a menace or something of that, like fear. 2 black, 3 colorless.
Nothing crazy.
So no, the deck's really, really good.
Is it for for
because
commander wise?
your rats, you're able to put as many in there as possible, like Relentless Rats or the new one from Dominaria. So like they get really big because they get pumped for the amount of rats that you have. Then you sacrifice it and put 10 1/1 rats into play. Like this works in that deck, but only that deck at this point, I think.
Next is Taste of Death, 4 and 2 black. Each player sacrifices 3 creatures, and you fucking make 3 food tokens.
God, this is pretty good, right?
The sacrificing 3 creatures is all right.
It's each player, though.
Yeah, it does hit you.
No, that's bad.
But you get to
play it.
create 3 food tokens.
It's the extra payoff for 6 more
Look
minutes.
at those.
There's
Apparently,
apples.
the price is almost $8.
$8.
That's stupid.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Wishclaw Talisman, 1 and a black
This seems
artifact.
fun.
It enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters. Pay 1 tap, remove a wish counter, search your library for a card, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library. An opponent gains control of this. Activate it only during your turn.
This seems like a lot of fun, actually. The only problem is we don't play tutors very much, but I would play with this just to be like, hey, if I give you this, you got to promise to give it back. If you don't give it back, then I'll give it to somebody else. You know, you could play a little politics with it, potentially, or you could get screwed over with it. So this seems like you could have a little more fun with it. Or you go search for something that's just going to destroy it so that you don't it isn't there anymore.
The politics are fun, but it's also going to be hard to hold anybody accountable because it's like, I'll
Well,
give it to you, you promise to give it back, but there's only going to be one more wish after they do it.
Yeah. But then you're giving them to go find any card that they want, you
Right.
know. Or you can probably do it. Lowry would probably do it. Probably would just take it and then not follow what he says that he's going to do and backstab you.
Right.
That's what Lowry would do.
I'm pretty sure I'm a very trustworthy person.
No, that's bullshit. Go back to episode 33. I just pulled it out of my ass.
Yeah. The person that's claiming that I'm a liar is lying about whatever episode that's on currently.
CommanderSmiths convention.
Yeah.
The guy comes in like,
An episode 94.
I would love a chronologist that just like knew everything that we did. That'd be great. It wasn't you. Did you mention the Planeswalker?
no,
Amanatu with this could
Nope.
be interesting.
that was not to me. But I see where you're going.
So you're able to blink Amanatu, it comes back, or blink this with Amanatu, it comes back to you, or some type of blink target permanent, and then it would come back to you. So being able to kind of mess with that could be interesting.
So I play with this more, but we just don't do tutors that much. So
I think that'd be decent though. Like if you're tutoring, you're allowing somebody else to
Right.
tutor, and I think that's fine. It might be all right to like, even if you're not trying to be political, if you just do it, you're in a 4-person game, you give it to like the last person.
yeah.
So there's less work to be able to do, like for them to be able to find it, and then it's your turn again.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be beneficial as well. So I don't know. What am I talking about?
The next card.
Yep. You're so lost.
Wish's Vengeance. Colorless, black. Creatures of the creature type of your choice get -3/-3 until end of turn.
Kills tokens.
Sorcery. I mean, not just tokens. It kills anything.
But I mean, you have to kill the creature type.
Right.
So you're gonna have to. I'm just saying you're gonna mass wipe with tokens,
gonna-
pretty much.
Kill humans. Kill all humans. Kill
Merfolk, elves.
Merfolk, spirits.
Yeah.
You're going to kill a lot with
All the token stuff. Yeah.
Goblins. Like, I think there's...
Except for dragons, you're kind of screwed. with
dragons and dinosaurs are probably going to outlive this.
But what are your typical dinosaurs? Aren't those normally? Do they even have like a typical?
They're red, green, white.
Yeah, but
You know,
what are they power wise?
more than...
You know, dragons are at least 4/4 to 5/5s when you make a token.
Yeah,
think
dinosaurs
they don't really have a
are little
dinosaur
bit
type
bigger.
yet.
Yeah. I mean, mine is long legs and a long tail, but wink.
Not the mama.
Yeah.
I'm the baby, gotta love me. So I bought those DVDs because I remembered
that had
how.
been disappointing.
Oh man, it's so bad now.
I
I
still
loved it when I was a kid, and I played it, and I was like, "This is awful. This is really
They
bad."
deal with some real issues in some
They
of those.
do, but everything is just
It was
bad.
on Netflix a while ago, and I watched them like, this is bad, but I'm still loving it.
What is it called? Actually, is it just dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs,
Yeah. All right, let's keep moving because we are an hour and a half plus on this one.
We're already fucked. They're
Bone
this
Crusher
far.
Giant, 2 and a red. This is another adventure. I'm going to read the creature first. Whenever Bone
get back and
Crusher Giant becomes the target of a spell, it deals 2 damage to the
That
spell's
spell's
controller. And then it has 1 and 1 red. It is an instant. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Stomp deals 2 damage to any target. This is called Stomp at that point, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. God, it's.
That'd be really.
I'm
it's a
starting to
weird
get
angle.
really on that side. I'm getting a really bad glare. Not from that. It's
It's
just.
probably from me because I'm so bright.
It's an interesting card.
It's the flop sweat you got earlier from the beer.
There's another like damage prevention go through card, which is maybe they're really worried about protection.
Maybe.
They
You
should just get
don't
rid
want to
of
have
those.
kids. If you're not planning for it, you got to worry about protection.
Yeah, for sure. You
I've
wanna
had a
worry
couple of
about
those
that.
scares before.
Embereth Skyblazer. 3 in a red. Human Knight 4/3. As long as it's your turn and he has flying. Whenever this guy attacks, you may pay 2 in a red. If you do, creatures you control get +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of opponents you have.
So at the most 3,
Yes.
pretty much.
Unless you're playing god awful 8-person games.
So dumb.
Gets +7/+0. Yeah, that's pretty bomb.
That should end the game then at that point. Get rid of the 7-person game.
This is in the Brawl Knight deck, I believe,
It has
as
to
well.
be because the opponents.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
opponent's thing.
All right, move on to the next one.
Fervent Champion. It's 1 red for a 1/1 first strike haste. Whenever Fervent Champion attacks, another target attacking knight you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Equip abilities you activate that target Fervent Champion cost 3 less to activate. This is a World Champion card as well. So whoever won World Championship.
Javier Dominguez. It says it on the card.
Oh, yeah.
So he won. And I like that they're going back to putting players on
Yeah,
cards like Snapcaster Mage or Solum Simulacrum. Bob. There's a lot of iconic cards where pro players that win tournaments are put on that, and I like it.
He didn't get to help design this card, unlike those guys did.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He just chose it. He's like, I'll go with this one. But it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could go in an
It's a
equipment deck.
Voltron, because the equipment
Yeah.
on him gives
Yeah.
you an alternate Voltron versus just your commander or something.
So it has to go on him what
The target.
the deal
him,
is. Yeah.
Yes.
Fires of Invention, 3 and a red enchantment. You can cast spells only during your turn, and you can't cast more than 2 spells each turn. Basically, you can cast spells that are equal to or less than the amount of lands that you have for free. Right? I got it right?
Yeah.
Less than or equal to the number of lands you can control.
Yeah.
Without paying them. Okay.
Yeah. So, but you can cast 2 spells a turn, and you can only cast spells on your turn, and you can cast spells for free that are equal
Those
to
2 spells for free.
Well, yeah. Well, you could pay mana for a different spell.
No, you can't.
You can only cast.
You can
spells on your turn.
Yeah.
You can only cast.
But you can't cast another one for mana for your third spell.
No, but I'm saying you can cast something by tapping mana. Like if you have mana that creates 3 or 4 land, like Gaia's Cradle, you could potentially tap that to if you
Get
had something
you
that costs
more-
more than what your mana
I
is.
gotcha.
So you can
Yeah.
you aren't limited to just the amount of mana you have to cast the free stuff. You can tap mana on your turn for you only can cast stuff on your turn. I get that part. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
No, you can cast no more than 2 spells.
correct.
Yeah.
But you can
He's
cast
just
a
saying
spell.
you can
One
cast
of
a
your
spell with
spells of
casting
those 2
Yeah.
can be something that's more than the lands that you have.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And
because you
also,
can
like-
have Temple of whatever that gives you 2 mana. You know,
Well, Shrine to Nyx. But you could also, like with this, that allows you to cast X spells. Because if you're casting an X spell for free, it gives you nothing.
Right.
yeah.
And so that would also play in that a little bit there.
So I think this handcuffs you way too much with
For sure.
Commander, unless you're only playing spells on your turn.
Well, I think it could be a very interesting deck of you only have activated abilities.
I think that's a good spin. And I think in Monticello Group they were talking about just Zedru donate it to the control player
Yeah.
and have that done so they can't control the
I
board
missed
nearly
that
as well.
talk.
Okay, it was a good talk.
Did you
I-
jump in?
No,
That must have been somewhere. Was that was
I am
probably the
concentrating.
EDH.
I only have so much social media ability, and so I'm trying to focus that on Twitter currently.
I think it's I don't know. I don't
I
think
think
I'd
it's
put...
an interesting card.
It's a very interesting card, and I'm not sure what deck wants it. I see things that I could do with it. Again, just don't know where to put it.
Well,
Does
because you like to spell sling like crazy, so
I
this is
do.
like anti-you.
But I mean, I like doing the fun things where I can only do the activated abilities or stuff like that, but I just don't know what that would be.
So did you use the frenzied... what's that one? The one where you can only cast stuff off the top of your library, but nothing from your hand?
I don't have a copy of that.
I like that card a lot.
I've played that in Arena, and that is fun.
Yeah, I like that card a lot. What is it? Frenzied? What is it called? Experimental Frenzy. There we go.
Is that one mine?
Nope.
Oh, we're back to me. 1 red. Sorcery. Add 7 red. You can cast only one more spell this turn.
What's the card called?
Yep. You're right. It's called
Irencraig? Irencraig?
I don't know. Something feet. Irencraig feet.
I think that's the right. That sounds right. Irencraig feet.
Made up word feet.
I hate it when they do that. I saw a lot of people mention that they're really happy that it states 7 red mana symbols.
Rather than making
I,
it count.
I really wish they put 7 literal mana symbols there. I would much that like
Take up this
way
whole
better.
line here.
You've seen those cards, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then
I-
Was it
Yeah, I never remember how many there are.
is it Sane Song, the red one
Singing song?
that has the 5 red on
Yeah,
there?
and that's not bad.
Or you go to what is Ramos's 2 of each.
Yeah, that's appropriate. That'd be really bad if it was like 2 white symbol on a
Yeah,
mana
I
symbol,
guess
2
that would-
green mana symbol. That'd be real awkward.
Unless it said
So-
2 times each of these.
But then it'd be the
Yeah, I
same
know.
thing.
Well, it'd just be one
It'd be
of
like
each.
2
It'd just
X,
be one.
1.
It'd be 2, and then an X, and then each mana symbol.
No, that's
you
dumb.
probably saved,
That's dumb.
let's see, a 2 and an X. You saved 3 symbols. That works, right?
What is this,
There's
Twitter?
probably
What are
a
you trying to,
space
like-
in there
This is
too,
a
so you
dumb
probably
conversation.
you didn't say. That's
move
how our
on.
podcast
3 hours in.
is. You're like,
You get to
have...
try to say that word again.
Oh yeah, it is there again.
Irencraig Pyromancer, 2 colorless and a red for an 0/4. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, Irencraig Pyromancer deals 3 damage to any target. I guess this is the card that we're talking about. So there's like almost like a sub theme on when you draw your second card. There's a lot of commons and uncommons. I didn't realize they had it on a rare, but I guess they're trying to make you build a deck with Jori N from Battle for Zendikar.
It's
like,
each turn, so it's not just your turn. So you can do 2 spells on your turn, my turn, Adam's turn. I like it because it's spell slinging.
Yeah, it fits your
all
style.
right.
All right, opportunistic dragon, 2 and 2 red, flying for 3 dragon. When it enters the battlefield, choose target human or artifact an opponent controls for as long as this remains on the battlefield. Gain control of that permanent. It loses all abilities and cannot attack or block. I think that's pretty sweet for 4-drop. I'm going to take your Soul Ring. I'm going to take your Sensei. You're going to lose all the abilities off of it, but you're taking it away from them.
Just taking away the advantage.
Yeah.
I like that it specifies human,
Yeah.
not any non-dragon creature.
I was hoping that it would be... You'd be able to get a lot more if it wasn't just
Right.
human, but whatever. I'm more focused, I think, on the artifact part of it.
That's probably what's going to get used more often.
Yeah.
Or maybe like Steel Thalia. Sundering Stroke. 6 and a red sorcery. Deals 7 damage divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 targets. If at least 7 red mana was spent to cast the spell, instead it deals 7 damage to each of those permanents or players. So this is the
Mono red was awesome with this.
Yeah, this is the adamant mechanic up the few notches.
That makes sense. But they didn't put
Adamant
there.
on there.
Right, because adamant only requires 3.
And also that would create more words where they'd have to make it a mythic. So they didn't want to do that. This is, I don't know, too
Yeah.
many hoops.
I think in a mono red deck that's pretty easy. 7 damage.
If it wasn't
to
a
3.
sorcery, though, I think I'd like it better.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I think
That's the
everything's
truth
better.
about everything. Yeah. I was gonna say,
They just made the
anything that's
sorcery
a
an
sor-
instant.
maybe they should just make this an
They
interrupt.
should just get rid of sorcery.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Back interrupt. Okay, Torbran, Thane of Redfell. Colorless, red. It's a 2/4 legendary creature, dwarf noble. If a red source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, It deals that much damage plus 2 instead.
I dig this with the double damage kind of stuff. It's not double, but it's doing 2 damage
But it'd be
extra.
better as an instant.
Instant
Flash.
Not true.
No, I like this card. I love that they stopped hurting yourself with red, where Furnace. We talked about that last week. Furnace Wrath or whatever, where all damage is doubled or whatever, so your stuff gets hurt. But the fact that it's just hitting your opponent's stuff is pretty sweet. And you're hit with a 1/1. Now you're doing 3 damage. So that's the one case that it's better than doubling the damage. You know.
I like that. It takes Thundering Stroke and did 9 damage to each.
Yeah. All right.
So much better.
It's so much better, right?
That's legit.
Feasting Troll King. 2 green. That's 4
You
green.
should have just said 4 green and the CMC.
Troll Noble. 7/6 Vigilance Trample. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it
From your hand.
from your hand, create. Oh, fucking A. 3 food tokens. Sacrifice 3 foods. Return.
weird, too.
I
I
know.
don't like that either.
I thought I was going to say food tokens. Sacrifice 3 foods. Return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate this ability only during your turn. So
There are creature foods, so you can do tokens and creatures.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh,
The
you're
gingerbread
right.
one?
You're right. What is it that is it the goose as a food? No. Which one? There's a couple of them that are
Was it
food.
goosey food?
I don't think so, but
The
just,
gingerbread
in
man
general.
is-
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
gingerbread man for sure is. Yeah.
Yeah,
It kind of feels like it should be legendary, though.
just because of all the word salad on it.
And mythic.
Well, and it's got the from your hand.
Oh, there's the goose. The bird is
There
not
you go.
really. It's just a bird. You're just a boar.
It's the word.
It's just a bird. The bird. All right.
Gilded goose, green,
Go for it.
flying creature bird. When it enters, create Adam's favorite food: mashed potatoes. Green.
No,
and
it's
one,
Chinese
tap,
food or
create a
lasagna. One of
Chinese
those.
lasagna.
That sounds gross.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
No,
But-
it doesn't.
Just
Yeah.
put lo mein noodles between each
Oh
layer.
man.
You'd have to show me a recipe where cheese is good on, like,
Chinese food?
yeah.
I
It's
don't
not
think you
really.
put cheese in.
Well,
That's
cream
my
cheese
point.
wontons.
That's not
Boom.
real cheese.
Roasted.
And that's just like deep fried bread with the
With
cream
cream
cheese.
cheese.
in the
Oh,
middle
it's
of it.
so good.
That's not really.
It's so good.
Oh my goodness.
Green and one. Tap. Create a food token.
God damn it, stop making food.
Tap. Sacrifice a food. Add 1 mana of any color.
All right. So it's a Birds of Paradise.
Which it, no.
No. It is
Wait.
not.
Just it's a Birds of Paradise, but then adds a stupid stipulation of you have to keep creating tokens to be able
Highly
to do it.
parasitic, worthless birds of paradise.
Yeah. How much is this right now? Cost wise?
Probably not much at all. Oh
Wrong.
man,
I
what?
remember seeing that and just going, no.
So they think because Birds of Paradise is an 0/1, by adding an additional defense onto this, that's where you get the sacrifice and make it so much
one
more
food.
difficult.
Yeah.
So right away you get to at least make it the first turn. It's a Birds of Paradise.
Well,
your first
next time
upkeep.
that they reprint Birds of Paradise in a real set, probably going to be mythic at that point. 'Cause that's
Not enough
so
words
much
on
better.
it.
Yeah, that is
But
true.
Unless they write out all the. It can make a blue or a
I
red.
think it might just be for this.
It can make 1 times this color.
Oh, that would totally. You'd have to be in 5 color in Commander decks at that.
Oh
point.
yeah,
Oh, crap.
yeah,
So
you get screwed
nice.
there. I dig it. It's not amazing, but it's. It's
I mean,
the
if you're-
fucking...
if you're
No,
playing-
I don't dig it.
I don't
because
dig it.
you have to tap the. If this was a green and a colorless, and you didn't have to tap it to create the food token,
Then
I might be a little more on board. But the fact that
you
you have to
can't do
tap
both.
it,
If you happen to make a lot of incidental food,
then yeah.
that's fine.
But in a commander deck, you're not playing food. No one's playing fucking food.
I'm gonna make a food.
I'm
deck.
gonna make a food deck too. Hey, Adam, you want to come play some Magic?
Yes,
I
you
have a
guys
new
went
deck.
you went into my plan. You guys are shitty food decks.
Well, you get to play that crack bridge troll all you want. And
It's not legendary. I can't
I'm
do
gonna
it.
sacrifice this gilded goose super quick. Stop you. I think we already talked about Love Struck Beast.
Yeah, we did. Go on to the next
So-
one.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Didn't you just read the
I
Gilded
just read
Goose?
Goose.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to read Once Upon a Time.
All right,
Well,
once
you
upon
are.
a time, 1 in green, instant. If the spell is the first spell you've cast this game, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or land from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in order.
This is
Random
going
order.
in all the other formats, but not ours, really.
It might not even.
You don't think like Modern wouldn't use this?
It's very questionable because it's only good once.
Yeah, but
After that,
being able to do that first turn and
that's the only time
for free,
See, the issue here is you're only hitting a land or a creature.
so you got to be playing a not a
So
spell
it's not,
slinger.
it's not going to
gonna
hit
be
any
a-
of the planeswalkers
Yeah.
or anything that like the one deck people are looking at is like Tron, and Tron wants to hit Karns and Ugins
and land.
and land, and they're all colorless. So like Sylvan Scrying hits
Hmm.
colorless card.
And Tron already uses Ancient Stirrings anyway,
Yeah,
which
Ancient
is
Stirrings,
1
yeah.
green.
And
So
But
it's
if
a
that
sorcery.
gets banned, which hasn't there been talk of that one?
Hasn't been talked
Could this
about.
take over on that spot?
That was being talked about before Faithless Looting,
Right.
and then Faithless Looting got the ban after a year and a half
If
of it.
if
Like,
Sylvan Scrying goes,
It's a ways
this
out.
probably comes in, but it doesn't replace it. Like so, I said Sylvan Scrying, and that lets you go search for any land that's never being replaced
No.
by this. This would take Stirrings if Stirrings got banned.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Return of the Wild Speaker and failure of a storyline. 4 colorless green. It's an instant. You get to choose one of these. You either get to draw a card equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control, or non-human creatures you control get +3/+3 until end of turn.
And it says the curse is broken.
Yeah, but we hardly knew that it was there. Like, they had one storyline where he tracked down Liliana and then, like, core sets with no story behind it. And then they break the curse.
Didn't he kill a bunch of planeswalkers before?
He killed, like, one that we didn't know about off book screen. Like, he never did it in the main storyline. Like, I don't know the name of the planeswalker. Like, they barely want to kill planeswalkers that they know. They killed Dak in War of the Spark.
kind of off screen.
Yeah, not even in the.
Well, it was in the
yeah.
trailer.
And they,
Right.
and they killed the red green dude, Domri.
Domri.
And that's about it, right?
I killed Gideon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's
Wasn't in the
he's
trailer.
dead in Theros.
No, he wasn't
And
in
we're
the
going-
trailer. That was
No, he died on.
No,
on
I know,
Ravnica.
but he went back to the Theros.
Do we know
afterlife.
that?
Yeah,
They showed that card showed it, but I don't. Because
We're
then
going back to Theros. He's going to be dead for like 6 months, and then we're going to get like a spirit Gideon.
If he goes back to the plane he comes from, does that mean Elspeth is not in Theros and she is?
That's not how Magic storylines work.
Oh, it's
You know
whatever
there's a
works at that time.
huge
'Cause
nerd
I
thing
don't-
about to pop in after you guys are done talking here. I'm just sitting here
So,
like,
like,
oh,
good for you.
I think the thing about Elspeth is dying on Theros. I think she's going to end up becoming a god, which creates the reason why she's there. That's what my thought is on that.
I'm enjoying
Pure
this.
speculation. No,
I
you're
have
not.
so many sounders going in. This is awesome. You guys are pure
I,
gold.
but I just think Garrick
Okay,
storyline was totally wasted.
besides the
Totally
card, this card sucks.
Yep.
For 5, it's pretty bad.
I mean, they're.
I like the non-human theme that's going on in some of these cards.
Yeah, I don't know if it sucks, but it's not something I'm going to play.
All right, Steelbane Hydra. We got a Turtle Hydra. X and
Turtle.
2 green. Steelbane Hydra enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counters on it. Tap 2 and 1 green, remove a counter from it, destroy target artifact or enchantment. I can see this going on a lot of freaking commander decks.
That's a lot of utility.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
$14. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Commander or Brawl deck.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
God damn brawl decks.
Stupid $45 price point. Thorn Mammoth, 5 green, elephant, 6/6, trample. Whenever Thorn Mammoth or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, this guy fights up to 1 target creature you don't control.
It's interesting.
7.
But yeah, the that's pretty high for that.
Yeah.
But the continuous fighting,
Right.
like you're
On a
dropping a
6/6.
Llanowar elf down and then like, all right, boom, knock
Yeah.
that one out.
I like that.
Birds of Paradise, wow, another one
Or
out.
Gilded Goose.
Also, Brawl decks.
Is that one a brawl?
Yeah.
$5 for that.
Yeah. Wicked Wolf, 2 colorless, green for a 3/3 wolf. When Wicked Wolf enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control, and then you can sacrifice a food. That's good. You can use it for other stuff. Put a 1/1 counter on Wicked Wolf. It gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it.
Stupid. I like that it gets a counter and it's indestructible. But I'm not going to play this card.
So it comes into play. You
It's
fight,
not going in my
sacrifice your
Tolsimir deck,
wood,
and that's my wolf deck.
your wood.
It's
Your-
not. What? What
I
about my
spoke
wood?
wrong. Nothing.
So, I mean, why? If you've got food, if you've got Tolsimir out, this guy fights twice. In response to those triggers, sacrifice a food.
What food am I going to have in Tolsimir?
You can now play a Gilded
Golden
Goose.
Goose. Yeah. You're gonna get goosed.
I'm going to play a creature that doesn't belong
We
in
want
that deck.
you to test this out.
No.
Put some food things in there because I
No.
think that guy's gonna wreck some
No, I
things
will.
because we haven't played that deck and like lost to it immediately.
And it's not. Nope, I'm not playing this card. It's stupid. Wildborn Preserver, 1/1 green, elf archer, flash reach. Hey, there's our archer reach. 2/2. Whenever another non-human creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay X. When you do, put X 1/1 counters on this, on the Wildborn.
Is that a really tiny elf or is it a really big fox?
I know. I was thinking it was supposed to be a wolf.
I think it's a really big fox.
Yeah.
I think these are the important questions.
That's why you subscribe.
Let's go on to our next legendary creature.
Yorvo, Lord of Garenbrig, green. Devotion's totally coming back. Legendary creature, giant
for sure.
noble. He enters with 4 1/1 counters. There's a lot of 4 1/1 counters on these things.
Yeah.
Whenever another green creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on Yorvo. Then, if that creature's power is greater than Yorvo's, put another 1/1 counter on Yorvo. YOLO.
I like this one better than the black one that we talked about earlier. So you could
This is
potentially,
just going big. This is the normal green stompy.
but it can be blocked easily by chump blockers.
The lack of evasion really hurts.
Yeah, pretty meh.
That's a reprint.
Source of Spyglass is a reprint. Stone Coil Serpent,
This one's nice.
which is X, and that'll put it's reach, trample, protection from multicolored.
Mm-hmm.
Stone Coiled Serpent enters the battlefield with X 1/1 counters on it.
Protection for multicolor is really nice in Commander.
Yeah,
And reach.
and trample.
Trample's okay.
You can,
I guess
late
if-
game you can make this huge.
Yeah, if I'm attacking with it, then that all works. I mean, it works all around.
Yeah,
Protection and attacking.
dodges like Putrefy or like a
Assassin's
Abrupt Decay.
Trophy.
Yeah, there's plenty that it dodges. Yeah,
I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah. Tome of Legends, 2 for an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, or enters the battlefield with a page counter on it. When your commander... Oh, so this is going to be for a brawl deck. When your commander enters the battlefield or attacks, put a counter on this. You can tap 1 and tap it, remove a page counter, and draw a card.
well, we're not going to see it because it's in the brawl deck.
And
So,
it's $11 already.
yeah, I'll avoid that unless the cards go down.
Banish into Fable. 4 white-blue. Instant. When you cast this spell from your hand, copy it if you control an artifact, then copy it if you control an enchantment. You may choose new targets for your copies. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. You create a 2/2 white knight creature with vigilance. Token with vigilance.
This should have been mythic.
Not quite enough words. Not as much as the one that Adam's going to get up there.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
and
fine.
it's across the way. You know what sucks is with the 3, I'm always the one that's over here, pretty much.
if you can take the next one, and then I'll just.
It doesn't matter. But this one's interesting, though. You're bouncing potentially up to 3
and making 6 power.
with vigilance.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a lot of trading at instant speed.
I can see playing this card. What about you, Larry?
I could see myself playing just about any card in the right situation. So.
Except for that troll, until we had to
Except that
convince you.
troll.
You're like, this is garbage. This is so garbage.
I don't think it sounded like that.
More like, this is garbage.
Yeah. I like the way you make my voice sound. Like a grizzled old veteran of something.
Go ahead. You can read it. I can see all the way over.
Dance of the Manse.
Is it because it rhymes?
It's like they designed these cards for plays on words sometimes.
Well, it should have been, I don't know.
Mance in the pants.
I just can't anymore.
This isn't helping.
Why don't you prance? Larry's not going to get through this card. I'm pouring myself more beer.
That beer is gross. Oh, no, that's the other one.
That's good. Good stuff. Good comedy.
Yeah, let's take a
made it this long.
Yeah, let's take a 5-minute break on this one card because we're not already 2 hours long with this fucking episode.
It's X, white, blue for a sorcery. Return up to X target artifacts and or non-aura enchantment cards, each with converted mana cost X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I'm trying not to laugh.
No, that's why.
You're so close to being done.
It's like when you're at school or you're somewhere where you're really trying not to laugh and then it makes you laugh harder.
Yeah.
That's where you're at
That's
right
exactly how this is. All right. Return from your graveyard to the battlefield. If X is 6 or more, those permanents are 4/4 creatures in addition to their other types.
Good job.
I made it.
It's a sorcery.
It's not until end of turn, right?
No, they
I
are
feel
permanently.
like they should have
say-
put like some type of token to like designate that it is also a 4/4.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
how would you do that with when it comes back? Like your card is turning into that.
Does
you
it
wanna-
not have the effect anymore?
No, I mean it still has its effect,
Yeah,
but I
it's
mean
Still
how
the
do you
card, but
how would you have a token on
top?
top of that card?
But I
then
mean,
you-
like some type of like a brick counter, or like you know what I mean, like animated counter. Like, how do you differentiate?
yeah, but when they did the brick counter stuff, there was more
there's a
things
lot
that
of
were
bricks.
doing stuff. This is one card that does that.
I gotcha.
I get what you're saying,
like, how do you?
but there's no way you
differentiate
can.
this between your.
It's
other
just how you
artifacts
do it
and
with Magic,
enchantments
where we're
that
just
put
like
a
this
dice on
token
it.
that's upside down and is represented as my rat token. This one's a Saproling token. You know, it's
because
kind
you
of.
don't have your shit together. Like,
I do.
Like most
No, you-
Magic players.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we always have to. I get what you're saying because you want to.
There's some type of difference, but there isn't any way to
Yeah.
show it.
Doom foretold. Two white black enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a non-land, non-token permanent. If that player can't, they discard a card. They lose 2 life. You draw a card. You gain 2 life. You create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. Then you sacrifice Doom foretold. So you're trying to hit that whammy of if they can't sacrifice something, right? Is that what I'm getting out of it?
No, you're just clearing
Or
the
you-
board because, like, once that player can't sacrifice something, then this is gone.
Yeah. But each turn, everybody's sacrificing
Right.
until that point that somebody can't
If
sacrifice.
they discard a card or lose 2 life, draw a card, you get a. And the bonuses for them not being able to sacrifice are kind of minor.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of weird too because you have to sacrifice, and you'll always sacrifice. Because
And
or
if you have
you
sacrifice
sacrificing-
this,
yeah.
and
So,
then
but you're sacrificing. If the player can't, they discard a card. Yeah, you da 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 da.
non-mana
I mean-
token.
Scrolling down.
Dollar.
It's a lot.
Escape to the Wilds. 3 red-green sorcery. Exile the top 5 cards of your library. You may play cards exiled this way until end of turn. Next turn, your next turn, you may play an additional land this turn. I like it.
I like
Yeah.
this. Yeah. Especially because you get to play the land that you potentially
it's
get on
play
that
not
top 5.
cast. You
Yeah.
get to play an additional land this turn, and otherwise it's until next turn.
Yeah. So your next turn, you won't get that additional
Correct.
land. It's only this turn that it came in. And then you can cast any of that stuff. Yeah. So it's like Light Up the Stage. Is that the one that's the one red?
Yep.
I dig
This
it.
turn. Okay.
Yeah.
this
So you
is
get to
one.
play for the 2 turns, but you can only play the additional land this turn.
And the mana ratio is really good here too because it's 5 mana for 5 exiled cards. There's a I should have came. Yeah, and that'd be 7 for the same effect.
Yeah,
pretty much. And so, but that's only one color versus being two. There's a sorcery that's an instant. There are differences in the two. But
are those play or are those cast?
Those are play as well. So you can do land there.
This has the additional land.
Yeah, this is being the additional land. I think they're fairly comparable, but like I probably just like this better. I think
this is more efficient, but I think later game you want commune.
Just to be able to dump
hit bigger.
Yeah, I can see that too.
I mean, if I'm that desperate for card draw in red, I'd play both.
Also true. Well, I mean, if you're here
and
with green,
so
like you probably don't
won't
need
play
it nearly
commune
as
with
bad.
lava then.
Yeah. Fey Burrow Elder, colorless, green and a white for vigilance. Fey Burrow Elder gets +1/+1 for each other color among permanents you control. Tap it for each color among permanents you control. Add that mana of that color. So automatically it's a 2/2 that taps for 2. And this is pretty good, right?
It's pretty solid. It's pretty good and for green white.
It's not very exciting, but
is it Bloom Tender good? Bloom Tender is like a $40-$50 card.
Holy balls.
Yeah.
What is Bloom
That's
Tender?
Green colorless for a 1/1 elf. When you tap it, you get mana for each color that you control. So this is just a white more, but it's bigger. It can be like a beater because it has vigilance. You're able to I feel like this might just. I don't think it's better. It's not better because it
it's
goes
two
in less
colors.
decks.
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing.
Is Bloom Tender is from Shadow?
Yeah, Shadowmoor.
Shadowmoor?
Eventide?
Eventide, yeah.
Same thing.
Same block.
Nobody bought those cards.
It's not like I'm looking it up or anything.
Yeah.
Currently doing it. See, he's much more prepared than we are at this.
We just say it and then we're like, I don't want to look it up, even though we have a computer we're looking at right now.
So this card is really, really good. This is something that I would for sure want to make sure that I have in my collection. Especially, I don't think it'll get up to $40 or $50 by any means. But this is a pretty good card. Put it in a 5-color deck. It's a 5/5 vigilance that can tap for 5.
It's interesting because it says for each color among permanents you control, add 1 color of that color. So you're actually, if you have 5 different colors,
you get one of each.
One of each. It's not just, normally it's
right.
5 of choose one, green, black.
And so
this is saying whatever colors you have, you get those.
Maybe that's the difference between Bloom Tender. What is Bloom Tender?
Each color among permanents you control, add 1 mana of that color to your mana pool.
And what is it actually sitting at?
$48.
Yeah. So
non-foil.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Even
it's just because
expensive.
it's gonna
but
say.
No, it's heavily used. It's a way.
Well, what are you on? Goldfish. Oh, I was gonna say, can you see what decks are using it? I'm guessing it's a modern.
No, it's not a modern card.
It's not.
It's pure EDH.
Really?
Yep.
That's crazy.
So I can see this card right now. It's Fey Burrow Elder is looking at like $3-4. I see this being more.
Yeah, this is one that you want to kind of look out for foils. Then on that.
Yeah, I think it's a really, really good card, and this is. I'll make sure I'm going to be getting 4 at least, just because I don't have a
Bloom
Tender.
Yeah.
So
the next card is pretty boring. Gluttonous Troll. It's 2 black and a green. 3/3 trample. You get food tokens when it enters the battlefield, equal to the number of opponents you have. You can tap a green and a colorless sacrifice another non-land permanent, and it gets 2/2 until end of turn. Next card.
Yeah, man.
This also looks meh. Knight's Charge. 1 black-white enchantment. Whenever a knight you control attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and gain 1 life. 6 white-black. Sacrifice this. Return all knight creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. That fits in one deck, and it's $32.
Stupid brawl decks. Look at what it's
yeah.
30 freaking 2. It's stupid.
Stupid. Lockmare Serpent. 4 colorless blue-black for a 7/7 flash. You can pay a blue, sacrifice an island. Lockmare Serpent can't be blocked this turn. You can pay a black, sacrifice a swamp. You gain 1 life and draw a card. And then you can pay a blue and a black, exile 5 target cards from an opponent's graveyard. Return Lockmare Serpent from your graveyard to your hand. activate this ability only anytime you could activate a sorcery. That's
Interesting
bad, right?
that you have sacrifice land stuff on these
Yeah,
two
no, that makes me hate
combos.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the last ability is kind of fun to get exile your opponent's graveyards to get it back.
But yeah,
But sorcery speed on that is rough.
yeah, for sure. Oko's Hospitality, 3 green, blue, instant creatures you control have base power 3/3 until end of turn. You may search your library and or graveyard for the card. No, so that's not going to help because you're playing Commander. But
Oh yeah, fuck it.
yeah,
Skip it.
so you're not going
Oh.
to search for more Okos
that
because you only
Planeswalker
have
decks?
one. Yeah.
You just read that one.
All right, Stormfist Crusader, black and a red, Menace, Human Knight, 2/2. I kind of went all over the place. I went to the creature type and I went to what it did
Wow.
beforehand. So Human Knight, it has Menace. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card and loses a life, and it is a 2/2.
Mm.
Not
Nice,
excited.
nice.
Don't look at me.
The lands are interesting, so
I like
let's
you don't
hit
get
these
to
up.
read it.
What? Let's
You
hit
don't
it.
get to read it.
No, let's hit them all up really quick. Just like
It's
we don't
number
need to
two's-
reach one.
number two's turn.
He's just saying he's excited. Stop. give him a little hope here.
I think this one's the. I don't know which one. This one might be
All
my least favorite.
Castle Ardenvale enters the tapped unless you control planes. Tap to add a white. 2 white. Tap, create a 1/1 human creature token.
So we have all the rares have one of these. So each one is it enters unless you control a plains or mountain
Basic,
or whatever,
yeah.
and then each of them taps for their color. So why don't we just say what each
Do the
one?
ability.
Go ahead and you. Or
Sure.
Adam can just read them.
The red one, red 1, tap, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Green is 2 green, add 6 green. Spend this only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of creatures. Black, 1 black, tap, draw a card, then you lose life equal to the number of cards in your hand. And blue is 2 blue, tap, scry 2.
Which one's the best one out of these? Blue might be my favorite. Blue and black are. I
Are we
think
doing
my,
the best out of these?
they're not my like. I don't like these a ton, but I like blue. I think.
Blues I like a lot. Scry 2, because we were having this discussion on the Facebook.
Yeah.
And I mean, these are all repeatable effects, and you're gonna put lands in there anyway. This comes in untapped to tap for blue mana, and it's a repeatable scry effect. I want all the scry effects I can get. Black one is
It's good if you're, as long as you're getting rid of shit in your hand. If you have a lot in your hand, you're doing a lot of damage to yourself.
the black one, yeah,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you lose, you draw a card, but you lose equal to the number of cards
I mean,
in your hand.
It's
But
got the art of a genie on it, so it's like be careful what you wish for.
yeah. And then I put green as my third favorite.
This is the most busted, the most breakable.
Yeah, because
For sure.
it's
And
tapping for 2.
I don't use break lightly, but this one can be really, really powerful. So just it only gives you 1 extra mana, but it's giving you. Is it
Well, it gives you
5?
2 extra, doesn't it?
You have
No,
to
because you're tapping
pay
it as
for
well.
and tap.
Oh,
so that's
yeah,
5
that's
lands.
right.
5, and it's giving you 6, but like mana reflection gives you 12. Like, but you're already. It just seems really, really powerful.
Easily breakable. The red one is a
Yeah.
finisher. Like if in a very aggressive deck, that red one is going to kill somebody.
Yeah, like I think any aggressive deck wants this red one. Like
Yeah.
I feel like these lands can fit in a lot of decks. That drawback isn't a real drawback.
Yeah,
for
there's
us.
no drawback on any of these.
And like, because I would put this in my Marissi deck, Breaker the Coil. That's goads other player. Like that just gets me more damage. And like any real aggressive deck could easily put this in there. So I like kind of all of these cards.
The white one, you have the replacement, but that one, the Alliance land, the one where you sacrifice a plains, but then you can tap. Isn't it a white and 2 colorless to
It's just
create?
white and a colorless in itself to create a 1/1 soldier.
Yeah, and
So-
that one's a tap ability as well on that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, but the downfall of that one is sacrificing your land.
Like I like the idea, like when you're untapping lands, like if you are doing that with like Sword of Feast or Famine or Bear Umbra or Seedborn Muse, like you're just getting a ton of value even if you're not able to like cast spells off of those in your second main phase or whatever. I feel like these just give you a ton of value. They're monocolored, so they fit in a lot more decks than multicolored. Like the from Innistrad block, they have 2 colors with them. They only create a colorless. Those are good too. Like the Lighthouse.
Yeah.
That loots for red, blue, colorless. Draw a card, discard a card. Like that's a really good card. And these, I feel like, maybe a little less than that power level.
I think we could wait till these drop quite a bit for foil-wise, if you want to pick up foils on these later, because I don't think these are going to hold a high price at all. I mean, they're only at $2 right now, $2-3.
Yeah. And I think what you're saying, like the repeatability is super important.
I'm going to warn you. So in Standard, Ramanop runes saw play, and that required you to sack lands. These do not. And that did, 2 damage?
Yeah,
to a
only
player?
2 damage.
And
And
it's
they
a
got
lot
banned.
of play.
They got banned in Standard.
So you might want to jump on the red one earlier.
I don't even know what the foils are sitting at right now. I'd have to actually click off of that. But you're saying with
Yeah,
the...
I think for Standard, I think these
Yes,
are very
these
usable.
are very good because, again, they can enter untapped. There's more likely than not no drawback.
And they work with the shock lands in Standard as well. So
I think my favorite land of this is this one.
That's nice.
Larry, it's on you.
Fabled Passage. USS. I wish. Tapped. You can tap it, sacrifice Fabled Passage, search your library for a basic land card, put it in the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle your library. If you control 4 or more lands, untap that land.
Oh, this is awesome.
That's really nice.
Commander, this is going in.
It's almost not a drawback.
Yeah.
It's 10. It looks like it's sitting at $10. I think that's appropriate.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a rare.
This is where you wanted Prismatic Vista to be.
Yeah, and I think they're pretty similar cards. Like, a lot of people are comparing this to Evolving Wilds, and this just
Jesus Christ.
I don't. This isn't Evolving Wilds to me.
No,
this is way better.
This is very upgraded Evolving Wilds.
Yeah.
The chance to come in untapped, huge.
It turn 4.
Right.
Like you get to have it untapped.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so we're almost at 2.5
Should we look at the
hours.
common
So
lands?
uncommons, we're just gonna let's just do the.
I
There's
think-
a
I don't think we need to. We're
well.
over 10,
Let's
2
make
hours,
that
right?
note right there, because Adam loves it so much.
Deafening silence. We should just let that. I should have said nothing and let it been. 1 white.
I might have done that afterwards. Just put silence on there.
Enchantment. Each player can't cast more than 1 non-creature spell each turn. It's awful. I hate everybody.
That's really the only uncommon we'll talk about. Was there any other ones in there? This one just
It doesn't
affects
matter.
Spellslinger
the common
stuff.
lands.
What were the common lands?
They're like the blue one can return an instant sorcery. They're potentially situationally better than. So they have basic land types.
Oh yes.
First of all,
Yeah.
they enter untapped if you control
3 or more
3
mountains.
of that type.
Other mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The red one, you create a 1/1 dwarf. The green one, you make a food token. Oh, this happens if they enter untapped.
Yeah.
And then blue
Return an
is
instant sorcery to the top of your library. Oh, black. What is that? Creature card on top of your library. What is with the white one?
I
don't know. I'm not really impressed with these. So
I think it's another ad because it's not taking anything away.
Yeah.
Like
they are fetchable.
they're fetchable. They can enter untapped, and then they have value when they enter untapped.
For
That's
common.
Yeah.
Okay. This is by far the longest episode we have ever done.
I don't think that's true.
You're welcome.
I don't think we've gone 2.5 hours.
Oh, it's 2.5.
Yeah, we're at 2.5 hours right now.
I don't think we've gone 2.5.
You had a 2-hour episode.
This is what happens
Yeah,
when
we
you
did.
get Adam number 2 in this.
He's at soccer.
For the set review.
Chatty
With-
Kathy.
Yeah, jeez.
We gotta talk about mashed potatoes. Again.
That's at least another 10 minutes in there.
Oh yeah, let's add our. You guys want to do our anal
No,
questions?
I do not want to do anal questions. I want to go home and take a nap.
Sounds good. All right. So you guys can follow us on Twitter. Do we want to even do that anymore?
At CommanderSmiths.
All right. YouTube.
At CommanderSmiths.
Where are the other ones? Gmail.
At CommanderSmiths.
I think go to Patreon.
At CommanderSmiths.
There we go. Thanks, Adam, for joining us.
Thanks
as
for
our,
having me.
Yeah,
Our
thanks
second
for
guest.
helping us out.
I like having you on a set review. It's kind of nice having a third person instead of just.
I know a lot
You
of
helped me convince him that the troll.
I don't know that we convinced him of that.
He went from no way to
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
And what I'm really excited about is that you both are going to build food decks now. So
I'm not gonna waste my time.
can I play you guys when you guys build those decks?
Sure.
Every game.
Is that the next time we're playing?
Yeah.
It could be a while.
Yeah. All right. Until next week. Well, actually, we have our next week's episode is what? It is.
I don't remember this stuff.
Shit, I don't either.
No, I got the notes. We are talking about rotation cards.
So
and
that's our.
cards that we would keep an eye out.
We haven't done specs for a while. That is an episode for specs.
It's a whole ton of specs.
Yeah, skip it.
Any card that you like, spec on it.
All right. We'll catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Nice.